Greatest
You
moment in Star Wars.
are watching 33 burning Canadian Star Wars questions with the host, Shillmonger. We have TM Nerdy. We've got first appearance, by the way, cameo and full. And then we got Onzo of Biggerford Entertainment down there.
What's up?
Neighbor to the North Comics down there. Thank you.
Can I just say that this is a great show that you have, Chillmonger? It's really entertaining and fun, man.
I appreciate it. It's a little bit tricky thinking of all the questions, but like it's so rewarding, especially with an episode like this. I've never came up with questions quicker, and I got to like 20 questions, and I'm like, you know what? The whole show is just going to be about Star Wars. I put out a poll for everybody on my community tab. First time I ever used that, and I go, should it be Marvel this week or should it be Star Wars? Majority of you guys chose Star Wars, so let's ask those Star Wars questions. Neighbor to the North, I want to know which will Grogu choose. There's the Beskar chain armor. Then there's the green lightsaber that belonged to Yoda. Which one is he going for?
Okay, I mean, the little chainmail sort of tank top. I mean, that's pretty fashionable and protective at the same time.
Right.
Then on the other hand, you have you have Master Yoda's lightsaber, but you also have, you saw the way his little eyes looked when he saw the starship. We saw Mando's starship fly away, and he reached out, and he could feel him. You know, it's like the way my cat looks at me for food every morning. You know, with his his deep eyes, and so
is your cat green?
No, he's orange, but he's basically like Grogu. I mean, he lives in a basket. He can manipulate people. So I mean, yeah, he's I would say he's like force sensitive. He's taken the armor, man. 100% taking the armor. Or he takes the lightsaber, goes to the dark side, takes the armor, and kills Luke.
That is definitely not happening.
No, just out there.
Wayne says that he's gonna choose the Din of Courser. What does that mean? Like the
I guess that's the armor. I guess. I don't know.
I think he's saying Din of Course.
Oh, I was thinking like, isn't Cyclops' father? Course? Yeah. We are going to get a Yoda-looking Mando and an Omega. Oh, Omega! I forgot all about her. She'll end up being a Mando-looking Jedi. I'll take it. Shout out to LB. Yes. TM Nerdy. Which will Grogu choose?
I think it's going to be the Beskar armor. Like, I think he's going to take the Beskar armor, and he is the Mandalorian. Like, that's why the name of the show is called The Mandalorian. And he will eventually hold the dark lightsaber, in my opinion.
He was in every episode of The Mandalorian, wasn't he?
Yes.
Ooh, the show was not about Din.
No.
So you agree with that, Onzo? He's taking the armor?
Well, I want to say he's taking the armor. Well, I want to say he's taking the lightsaber, but he's taking the armor. And I'm saying he's taking the armor because, of course, he's going to go back with the Mando. And I think that people are saying because he's a foundling, he is the Mando. It's just that armor looked like it was from Lord of the Rings. So, like, you know what I mean? If you watched Lord of the Rings when they gave it to Frodo, it looks like the exact same thing. But, yeah, he's definitely taking the armor.
And my question is, are they going to, leave that robe over him and put that Beskar armor over the robe, or are they going to take that robe off and put the Beskar armor?
No, you're going to see his little green nipples, man. Gonna have those hanging right through there.
We saw Kylo Ren's. I don't see why not. And I'm also going to answer the question with seeing the armor because it just makes for a better show. Of course, I want him to have both. I want him to see a guy wearing a lightsaber with Mandalorian Beskar armor. Be awesome. Maybe we can get there. But for now, I get more entertaining Star Wars if he's part of the freaking the Mandalore side of things.
Yeah. I agree.
Question number 2. What planet were they on?
Oh.
Dagobah system?
Oh.
No, man. What was the planet that Luke was exiled on?
Ahch-To?
In 7. Do you think that might have been like a pre sort of war, sort of flourishing planet? Because it looked pretty destitute and full. He was on that little kind of islandish sort of. Am I off by saying that's the same planet?
No,
They just
The
spent the
rocks
entire
look the
time there?
same. The ants were
Yeah.
collecting the little rocks that made all the temples, just
Yeah.
like they looked in Octu.
yeah, that's the planet they found that Ray went to find Luke on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the planet they're on. Yeah.
I always thought it was a different planet that they're on, and that like two different worlds. But I could be wrong. It could be that planet. I just never thought that it actually had a name yet, or if they even mentioned the name in the show. They did not.
No.
So I don't know what planet it would be, but I don't think it's that Octu.
The interesting thing is they've never mentioned it after. It's been a week almost since that episode came out. You would think that someone would be like, by the way, we're naming the planet this. Let's get the word out there, let the people know. They didn't do that. Is this like a hesitancy not to include sequel era stuff? Like what's their game here?
Maybe they're trying to decanonize because didn't Filoni already say that he's not referencing 7, 8, and 9 as being like it's there but it's not?
He didn't say that. Would never say something like that.
Yeah, I don't think.
Did you see an interview where he says this? That's great news.
No, but I've heard it, maybe mention that like they're trying to kind of like get away from that and kind of like maybe not exclude it, but it's there, but it's not going to be prominent in like the future of Star Wars.
I think that's what people want, but they're definitely using those sequel trilogies in this too. So yeah,
because they even like referenced it whenever they're showing the flames and that when they switched the thing. If you watch it in slow motion, you could see like the flames of like where they're building the new training place, go with the training place in that from that scene. So it's just like it's already showing you the future of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So they've already kind of referenced the 7, 8, 9.
Absolutely.
Joining us from the United States of America,
SSJK. America.
For real. For real.
Well, I am alone. I'll do my best to rep America as much as I can. You Canadians are still evil.
If K-Dot is the one repping America, you guys are in trouble.
Oh my God.
I asked 2 questions so far, so I'll let you go quick. Which will Grogu choose? It will be the Mandalorian way or the Jedi way?
He's gonna pick that armor, but this is what they should do. Well, it's obvious what they'll do. They'll make him let him be a Jedi and a Mandalorian too, because he can't stay at that school forever. But Luke did say a lifetime for Mando. So, because Grogu's going to outlive Luke, he's going to be here for Mando. He's going to be here for a long time. So, and also he's going to outlive Luke too. So his training's going to be, I don't know. It just depends whenever he can start talking and stuff. Like that's when he'll be on his way with Mando.
Well, I'll just say this because in the episode, Luke says, "If you take the lightsaber, you will be my first student." But we know from the sequel trilogies that his first student is Ben. So that's how we know that.
It wasn't his first student, his sister. Wasn't that said in
well, I mean,
you're right. You see, you can't use the sequel trilogy to make a point because they contradict themselves.
No, his first student is Leia, but his first student when he had the school was Ben. His first.
Man, that's some certain point of view logic.
But you're right. You're right though.
Kate, what planet were they on?
They wasn't on Dagobah. I don't know. They was on a luscious green, looked like Endor. It wasn't Endor, but it looked like it.
Yeah, the moon of Endor. You're right. That's a possibility too that I've heard also.
I don't think it's Endor, but it looked like it.
No one knows yet.
I didn't see any Ewoks running around chilling, so can't be.
I gotta go back and watch the first one to find out if they say the name of the planet that he was on. But whatever planet that they found him on, where the Jedi Temple is, that's the planet he was on. So
it looks like they're the only life on the planet too. I mean, it could be bigger, but it literally looks like it's just R2D2 and the kids there because it's no attachments, isolation. They train in isolation. It's just the animals and wildlife there.
The sequel trilogy is one of the most successful art projects in the history of man. Everything we are seeing in Star Wars is building towards a bigger story with Grandmaster Rey. Anyone triggered? Anyone? No, we know better.
Honestly, I think they're just building up to that battle of Jakku, and then that's it.
33 burning Attack on Titans questions is coming. It's in the works.
Coming soon, guys.
Yeah, they really are coming. Like, I'll show you. I've got a banner with them, so I'm like, hey, where are the Titan wieners? How cool is the title Attack on Titan? Is Grisha Yeager a bad father? Like, I've got a few of these so far, but
I didn't understand any of that.
Yeah, I've not watched any of that yet.
Because we're adults and we don't watch that anime trash. Just saying.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I like it.
Did Ahsoka Tano mention Padme Amidala to the son? You know, she knew the dad. She had to have known the mom too, right?
He did not say it in this episode, like they did, but I'm sure that they've talked about it. And I think that there's going to be further conversations about Anakin and Padme and way back then in the Ahsoka series. Like, I think Luke's going to eventually show up in the Ahsoka series. Just the way they ended the show is just like, will I ever see you again? I think so.
With the Ahsoka series, I think that whole show should happen the week of Return of the Jedi. She's going to hear, wait, what? There's this Skywalker guy who just liberated the whole galaxy. I should know who this is. I'm going to go meet with him. And, you know, it's Rosario Dawson. If you want to make her look younger, you just make the Leku a little bit shorter and we'll be like, yeah, look, this is her when she was younger. It all works for me. They'll do that with her. And it does make sense to me how 5 years have passed. And this is them talking to each other in this episode as if they've already met, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It would be weird if she would have wasted 5 years if she never talked to Luke Skywalker. That's something that she would have brought up to him.
Well, I have a question then.
Yeah.
So, are we saying she met up with Luke before season 2 of Mando?
So then why did she say send Grogu to the Looking Stone? Is that what you're going to get at?
Yeah, because I would say if that's the case, then that doesn't make any sense. Then she would have said, oh, I know a guy who's setting up a Jedi school.
Okay. So
I feel like after she saying Grogu met up with Luke and stuff through the Force, it told her, go see Luke finally and Grogu and all them.
Well, I'll say this because I think
like their interaction is very recent.
I think you may be right. But even if they met after the Mando episode, she still could have explained to him and talked to him about, I knew, because when she says you're just like your father, Luke doesn't question that and say, hey, my father, or what about my father? Or tell me more about him. So they probably had the conversation.
But I don't think they
first met.
This is the thing. I don't think they had to die because they said they used old dialogue of Luke, so that's why he sounds exactly like Luke from the OG trilogy.
Really? No. Mark Hamill's doing
to add more.
No, Mark Hamill's doing it. Mark Hamill's doing Luke's voice.
Yeah, doing the voice.
Yeah. Mark Hamill's doing it.
And they also got that guy that that's why the CGI is
better.
Yeah,
right.
Shamuk is on fire.
They got that internet guy that did the deep fake better. They hired him, and that's why it looks so good.
And that's how you get a job. Yeah. You're just like, you know what? I can do it better.
For real. For real.
That's how you get a job. If the company you're working for is like open-minded and not taking it as who are these guys on the internet think they're so much better than us. If you have like a level-headed people who go, oh look, someone qualified can do something for us. Hired. If you think like that, yeah. But that's the advantages of not having this combative relationship with fans that it seems like Lucasfilm has been on for the last 3 movies, but now they're back on track.
So can I add to the, obviously I think Ahsoka wouldn't she feel that there was, because she was around during, she knew about Anakin, obviously. And she's known about Luke, but never met. Would she not feel Padme or anything like that, like some sort of like ripple in the Force, or they're Force sensitive people.
I think, and
I'll just know.
Well, I'll say this because this is the thing about Star Wars. Star Wars has a history of retconning, and if you look at Ahsoka's how she's inserted into the lore, she's kind of is a retcon because if you try to add her, and they're trying to play catch up with this stuff because Ahsoka does not really work in the lore, because if you go to Revenge of the Sith, it's like, why didn't Anakin mention her once or talk about, how the Jedi did this to my student and all this other stuff, Like, I'm not saying that's bad, but they're trying to play catch up with these retcons they doing. So, I kind of forgive it a bit sometimes with this Ahsoka stuff, but it's like, I see you're trying to play catch up with this and make things work that don't really work.
I think the reason why they're doing it is because Dave Filoni and Favreau did not like what Rian Johnson did with Luke and The Last Jedi. So they're not really trying to retcon anything, but they're trying to give more story as to why Luke went that way, I guess. And they're showing him in a positive light. They're showing him in a way that people wanted to see Luke. And then maybe you can kind of, okay, now I kind of understand why he went that way. So I don't know, but
do you think that we're gonna find out more with that little flashback with Grogu?
Yeah, we'll find out a little bit
66.
more.
I think that's the key to this all time.
Well, see, I thought when Luke did that, I thought he was he was talking about your passings. I thought he was talking about like him on his planet before the Jedi came and got him and stuff. Like,
no, he brought up that one specific memory that was forced.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I was expecting not to see that. I was expecting to see like.
I think that's going to influence his choice, right? He was trying to influence the choice on what Grogu's going to do.
No, wait, aggressive. This was going to happen. I'm glad you brought that up. What's going to happen is Grogu's going to touch Luke's head, see into the future, see his school burned down. It's like, I'm getting out of here.
Well, that's Tacoma down here says she was dismissed. The Jedi were dicks and didn't mention her because they were arrogant. That's a level of like.
No. I'm talking about Anakin. Like, that would have been part of his reasons for turning. Like, they kicked out my student based off false stuff. They gave me this rank and didn't really give me what I want. They won't let me love who I want to love. So I'm stuck. Like, it would have became part of the reasons that would have made sense for his turn. I'm not saying his turn doesn't make sense, but Anakin would have definitely mentioned that to Obi-Wan, like, during their final fight, like, the Jedi are wrong. You guys treated Ahsoka like crap. You guys are.
That should have came up, but it didn't come up.
I'm not saying go back and retcon it and fix it. What I'm saying is Ahsoka does not really work in the stuff, but hey, they're doing their best to make it work.
I'll allow it.
But I'll say this real quick: if Ahsoka was like, she could be a character in the Clone Wars, but if she was not Anakin's like student, but a friend who pops up every once in a while, like rarely pops up to do a mission with Anakin, I would have wrote out as a character like that if I had the opportunity to write Ahsoka.
The next question here: was the Luke Skywalker flip good or bad fan service? Because we know it was fan service. I'm just asking if it was good or bad. It was good.
It was good. I was expecting, for him to go a little bit higher, but all good. He's over there bullying Grogu like, you better jump. You better jump.
Anzo, was it good or bad?
It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the montage.
We might have a sweep here. TM Nerdy, was it good fan service or bad fan service?
It was good. Yeah, I have to agree. Like, every aspect of this show like had a lot of fan service that was just fan freaking tastic.
You muted me. Are you hearing background noise from me, Chip?
I heard background. That's why I muted you, but I unmuted you now. But feel free to unmute me, whatever,
No, I just wanted to make sure because sometimes people hear my fan from my MacBook. So that's why I wanted to make sure you guys weren't hearing that or something like that.
We good.
Okay.
Neighbor to the north. The question is, was it a good fan service to have the flip or bad fan service to have the flip?
That was great. I mean, that whole scene was fantastic. Except for, the training droid Captain Grogu was pretty.
Hey, when that droid shot him, I was like, "Hey, man, watch what you're doing to Grogu, bro. Don't mess around."
Luke has that.
He got his
revenge. Yeah, he did.
Luke has that Captain America mentality. Hey, you get shot, you get back up. Just walk it off.
It was perfect. Even the chat is unanimous on how that was some good ass fan service. 5.
Right, and it's like honestly, if he didn't like reminisce like that, it would have been a huge missed opportunity to not have him reminisce, seeing this other alien that looks like his previous master, and just like having a moment.
Yeah, the whole thing was great fan service.
All right.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Was 3 shots at the deputy too excessive?
Nah, he deserved it. He was a dummy. Cobb told him like go back inside and wait. You know, maybe nobody would have got shot if the deputy wasn't like, I'm still here, man. I got your back. Oh, sure, he had his back. You got shot 3 times. You totally had his back. Good job.
I got the clip ready here. That might have been 4. But
yeah, and it's like the scene wasn't. I like Cad Bane's revealing that the scene wasn't directed very well because like the deputy he had the chance to pop, but
freaking
that deputy L for the deputy.
I'll agree with K-Dots. That deputy was an idiot. I didn't like him, and when he got shot, I was like, yes, thank you. So yeah,
okay, that's so for the first shot, Anzo, but the second shot where you still
I would have shot him 5 more times, bro.
He deserved it.
No heart,
he was an idiot.
That was too much. Come on, I think 3 shots or 4 shots, whatever it was way too excessive. I understand how kind of a Cobb Vanth got shot first because he's right in front of you and everything,
right.
But the 3rd, 4th, it's like, fuck, what are you trying to do over here? The deputy gets the point. He's down. We get it. Oh, too excessive. TM nerdy, too excessive or just enough?
I was actually thinking like it was too excessive, but then I kind of flipped and I changed my thoughts on it because it was like, well, it just shows you how vicious this character is. And like for those who don't know who this character is, even that it's just like this is who he is, because he was kind of like making a good point at the start. It's just like you don't know who Boba Fett is. He's a villain and that and stuff, but then he comes across as like, you know what, I'm going to shoot this guy dead like 4 times. And that just shows you how vicious he is. So I don't think it was too over excessive.
I mean, Cad Bane also fought like 2 Jedi too. He took down Obi-Wan. He even picked up a lightsaber and went toe to toe with Obi-Wan. Like, this dude's no joke. I mean, he makes Boba Fett look like a nobody. Which
he fucked up Boba Fett. Yeah.
And you see, that's the thing. If they did Boba Fett better in this show, when he comes in and says that, you feel that. You know what I mean? You feel like, oh, Boba Fett's a badass. But I think, I don't know, but bringing in Cad Bane, I was like, yo, he looks good. His voice is good. Fire.
I like how they cleaned up his voice too. It's not as robotic-y as it was in Clone Wars.
Like the CGI on that character is done so well. Like, I mean, just like when he like looks up and you see the eyes, it's just like that was just like my nerdgasm, you know. I was like,
did you think the shots were too excessive?
I think it's a little too excessive, you know, considering the character. I think we're missing someone here. Like, I wish Jaded was here. That would be I'm sure he'd have a difference of opinion.
He's got the link. Maybe he might show up later.
You know, Jade is just gonna hate it. Come on,
for real.
Yeah, well, I think we're all in agreement, right? So.
Yeah, it seems like an echo chamber right now. You know what I mean? So yeah,
we need Jade to come and disrupt the balance in the force that we have created here.
The 6th question, neighbor: are the Freetown residents willing to fight?
No,
they are now.
No,
I think when seeing Cobb Vanth get shot, that's the catalyst to them. You saw the look of the barkeep, right? Like he was like he was gonna fuck some shit up. He wanted.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you, neighbor. They were definitely willing to fight now. They weren't prior, though.
No.
I can still see them.
I think if you gave them that box of spice, though, that would have done a lot better.
Yeah.
And I can still see them not wanting to intervene out of fear because Cad Bane like straight up gunned down their deputy and their lead, you know, their sheriff. But yeah, they may fight now, but I kind of doubt they still will, you know.
What's good, Tony?
Especially out of fear, because he put fear in them, something Boba Fett's not doing.
Yeah, I'll say this, and that's it too. They're gonna show probably, you know, Fenn and Shan and Bane have their rematch because they did have a fight in the Bad Batch, right? Which was pretty good. So I think that they're gonna do a rematch of that. Yeah, hey man, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited.
TM Nerdy, are the Freetown residents willing to fight right now?
I think it's like if they would have just shot, he would have just shot the deputy, then I would say no. But like
That's the marshal right there.
Yeah, the marshal is like they love him. They'll fight for him in that. And after that happening, and then what he has to say after it, because he's not dead. He's going to tell them about what happened at the beginning of these people running through spice through their town and that. So they're already kind of locked on and like kind of I don't know how a word to say it, but like they are going to be under attack for what he did at the beginning. So yeah, they're going to be all for it, but there is going to be some that are going to be hesitant.
What Boba was saying when he was talking about the table of like crime bosses, he goes, they know that it doesn't just stop over here on most Espo.
Yeah.
That one. So the same thing with the people of Freetown or Mos whatever they were called before, Pelago. Like they understand that. And I'm gonna play the clip one more time to show you, Cobb Vanth getting shot in the shoulder, and he might be the one who survived.
See? He survived that. He ain't dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably arm probably dislocated or something, but he's good. Well,
I'll say this, came over in there. Sorry,
I didn't want to say this. This is why when Disney tried to do versions of things, they water it down. They're watering down this whole crime lord aspect, right? It's like never in the history of anything would you ever see a crime lord go to the law and say, "Hey, come join my gang war." Like, yeah, they'll work with them for like, hey, let me get you on my payroll so you can let the other officers know to not mess with me. Make things easy for me. But never to go fight in a gang war. Like, yeah.
Okay, true or false? Cobb Vanth survived. I say true. Nerdy says true. Neighbor K-Dot says true. And Anzo?
I mean,
true. He survived.
If that killed him,
you see the medical attention, right? He asked for medical attention, not he's dead. Like they didn't go to the deputy. They just assumed he's dead.
Yeah.
Nobody went to go to his side.
They did not.
He's just lying there. He could be alive. He'd be alive with 4 blaster wounds, and he's just sitting there like, "Help me!" And they're like,
"No, he's dead." But he's dead.
But the question is, even if he was alive, right? With the way they show him in this episode, like, do you think anybody cared about him?
Choice.
Right? Because he was kind of an ass, So I don't think anybody in the town really cared about him.
and maybe that deputy did some grimy stuff, man. He probably been harassing people and stuff.
Facts.
Probably been walking around flirting with all the girls and stuff, all weird.
I just want to point out we keep referring to him as deputy because he didn't get a name. So he's the red shirt of like somebody said that to me once. He's the red shirt in this show. So
they just refer to him as he's new.
Yeah,
this Cobb Vanth is like he's new.
Or maybe that was his first week he started, and on his first week he gets gunned down. That's sad.
He acted like a beginner. Question number 8, true or false? And if you're in the live chat, you can answer along with us. That leaping CGI Grogu, he looked better than the puppet Grogu. True.
It looked a little funky. It wasn't bad, but you can tell it was a puppet like jumping with CGI. I'm not saying this thing at some points Grogu is going to have to start to use a little bit more CGI, especially when he can start talking and really get to not use the Force and walk and stuff.
I like the aesthetic, man. I think it's back to I think it was last week, Chill. We were doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, which fighting style would you like to see? I think that was one of last week's questions.
Oh, right. Would he act like old Alec Guinness in the first movie, or are they going to give you Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan?
But I think it's cool when they did the CGI looks believable to the era of Star Wars.
Yeah,
where it's kind of it's not perfect, and it's not, but it's not like the old trilogy where they had limited resources, right? So like you don't want to make it like too over the top. I think like the prequel trilogy was like way too over the top CGI for like Yoda's fight scene and everything like that.
I mean, but I think that's the thing. I think for like when Grogu does fight in the future, you're gonna have to go like all CGI because you can't. For like you can use a puppet when he's just like stationary walking or like chilling on the ship with Mando, drinking their drinks and stuff. But like when it comes to the action, it's going to have to be CGI because like
So get used to it, folks.
I'm not saying
Well, you didn't say true. I asked you true or false, and you tried to dance around answering true. I want to hear it. If you say false, go ahead and say false. Be bold. But I think it's true that the leaping CGI look better than the puppet version.
I agree.
I mean, I would say true.
And I'll be right back, Chill. I'll be right back.
Okay. I just got mine a little, it looked kind of iffy, but true. It wasn't bad.
TM Nerdy.
I enjoyed it. I think the part that I enjoyed the most was when Luke would lift Baby Yoda when he would be walking and
Right.
lift him. That would look way better in my opinion. But I did like the jumping Baby Grogu.
I thought
that
at
was
first
pretty
he was actually
entertaining.
jumping
Yeah.
until he made the hand motion. I was like, oh no, he's knocking him on his way.
I mean, that was smart because you got to think. Well, Grogu always been fast. Because remember when Episode 4, Season 1, when Mando was coming out the ship and Grogu just like screwed past Mando pretty quick. He's not that slow. He can keep up, man. I think Luke's underestimating his student. He's pretty quick on his feet.
Yeah, and especially
when he ran away from the spiders. Bro, he's running for the spiders. Dude, he's quick on his feet, bro. He can get out of anything.
Yeah. Number 9, true or false? Dave Filoni is overrated. False.
False. He's not overrated yet. Eventually he can be, but he's not overrated yet.
Well, he single-handedly made the prequels better by making the Clone Wars. Kind of like filled in the storyline in that. Now we're getting characters like Ahsoka is his creation, and she's getting her own show. So Filoni is like, him and Favreau are kind of like saving Star Wars in my opinion. So yeah, false. He's not overrated.
He really is saving it. That's not even an over-exaggeration for me. No. I'm sure Aggressively Relaxing is currently writing some long-ass thing in the live chat.
Right, that's it. I'm glad.
Wait. Nerdy, put that up on your screen again. Kata, what was the thing in his hand? What is that?
Oh, that Canadian stuff.
That Canadian stuff.
LOL. I'm sorry, you were saying before we interrupted?
Some American drinks.
We got Starbucks here too, but like Tim's or Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you guys have the Canadian Starbucks. Everything is like backwards there.
Coffee.
Your caramel frappuccinos, you guys give out mocha frappuccinos instead.
We have iced caps. Do you know those? With a flavor shot.
I don't get those at Starbucks.
Next time you're in Canada. You know what they'll ask for.
I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll really enjoy it. Just ask for a caramel shot. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. The caramel shot's right.
Ice caps, man. I do it in -20, which I don't know what in freedom degrees that is for you, K-Dot, but it's pretty fucking cold. But I still get the ice caps.
I can handle
it's like I could spit on, and then my spit freezes before it hits the ground, but I'll still get that ice cap.
Mm-hmm. I can handle it. Canada ain't much, It's just Canada. I can handle it. I got it. When I come there and I conquer and take over Canada, it'll be all good.
I think Aggressively Relaxing is going off in the chat here.
What am I missing? He says, you guys are like, we're mad at Kathleen Kennedy because her job is to hire good people to make Star Wars, and she did that. But I'm the crazy one. I always put the basketball analogy of it. LeBron James decided to stop playing with the Miami Heat. He went back to Cleveland Cavaliers. Do I give credit to the Cavaliers management for, hiring LeBron James? That's an easy decision. If Kathleen Kennedy scouted some unknown writer from out of nowhere, like she did with Ryan Johnson, and it's like this big successful thing, then I give my kudos to Kathleen Kennedy for the hire. That's how I view that one.
At the end of the day, real quick, Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars is on life support. Believe it or not, people have to, if for now, but at the moment, Star Wars is tarnished. Like the characters of this lore is tarnished, like especially Luke Skywalker. After Episode 8, that ruined this franchise's story in a sense with the Skywalker saga.
This is his redemption, right? Like they're trying to at least give him.
And try to give context to what happened, but even then, even with the context, I'm still not gonna like the outcome because it's like you try to kill your nephew in his sleep, and then you get a chance to see your nephew again. You don't even you're not even man enough to come see him in person. You're just like, I'm gonna send my ghost and do this to him. Like, come on. It's Captain Kennedy. Yes, thanks for hiring Dave Filoni, but it's like should have got him in the first place on day one. A guy who really knows this stuff.
He's right there. He's at the office next door. He's
right. If he was there writing the sequel trilogy, would have been a whole lot better. Finn would have probably been a Jedi and stuff.
Ahsoka would have been in it.
Yeah, we would have got Captain Phasma like more than 5 minutes.
Right, like he would have did justice to that stuff. I mean, he knows how to write Star Wars, you know.
True or false? The Pykes are formidable. Wait, we got another United States of America person.
Welcome, Mike, to the stream.
Hello there, Mike. How did you know it was Mike before his name popped up?
Because I saw the OBS thing, and Mike been going crazy with the OBS virtual camera.
Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
If you're new, Mike is a guy who owns Rogue Comics over there in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So go check out his shop if you're in the area. Everyone else here, let's just reintroduce ourselves. Chillmonger, TM Nerdy.
Station.
Neighbor to the North. K-Dot. And Onzo of Bigford Entertainment. We're at question number 10. The Pykes are formidable opponents. I would say the answer to this is true. The way that they got down in the train, remember the first episode in that flashback, the second episode? They were like from long range shooting down these Tuskens. So let's not forget that. I think that they are formidable.
I mean, I guess I'd say false. I mean, they're not really doing nothing that's impressive. I mean, they blew up a building. Maybe if they show like some weaponry that we never seen before, but like they're not doing anything that's like going like, you know, oh, we're such a destructive force.
And when all of them came into blowing up a building, they were like invited and asked to like get their helmets waxed and then blew up the building.
Yeah,
you know,
even
nobody even questioned why they were there. They're like,
yeah, I was like,
and,
it was just kind of.
I don't think they're like
come there, sit down, and like just leave. I was like, that's clearly a setup.
Oh, your box, you forgot it.
You forgot your.
I think they are just for the fact of how the Hutts were like. Oh, we're moving out. You can keep this place. It's already given to the Pykes. So like they're scared. They're like, we don't want a war. So they're scared that they know that the Pykes are gonna come back. Especially since they got the most vicious bounty hunter in the galaxy, Cad Bane. So like they paid for him. They're getting him to back him.
And Nerdy, I'm glad you, because I think what the Hutts don't like is like airing out like those gang wars and stuff. You know, they just want to like, we do business, keep things private, but no fighting in public because it's bad for business. Because they know the Pykes will take it there. But you know, I don't think they're. I think the Hutts is like totally down. Like we fight in secret, but they don't want to take it to the public.
I think we need to see more examples of them being ruthless. Other than shooting from the train or whatever it was, we needed to see them, you know, being more.
Have you watched Clone Wars or Rebels?
No. Were they in there?
They are in there. Yes.
Oh,
they're
really?
Like,
okay. See. Yeah.
I honestly do not remember the Pykes from those shows, from Rebels or Clone Wars too.
You do remember the episode? It was the one where they talked about Sifo Dyas. It was like the Pykes who were the major planet was the Pykes' planet. It's like
I still don't remember them.
Oh man, it's our favorite episode. We talked about this last time. Where
which one?
The Pykes. I was asking true or false. Are the Pykes of formidable opponents?
I think they are. I think they are. They have the mayor backing them up, and it looks like they have a big army, right? That's why Boba Fett or Fennec Shan has to go and recruit people because they don't have enough to fight the Pykes. So I think the Pykes are going to be a very, very formidable force.
Yeah.
They got. It doesn't matter.
Green Pigs and Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. We're not. Hey, not all 4 of those Rangers are coming out of this alive. We know that. I'm sorry to break it.
They all died.
All right. At least you gotta let the black one live. It's Black History Month.
I think he just might. Yeah, just for that reason.
If they kill him during Black History Month, bro, I'm done with Star Wars, man. I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm done.
Question number 11 of 33 burning Star Wars questions. This is the same academy that Ben burned. True or false?
True.
It's the same Pebble. Yeah, the Pebble thing they showed in the Last Jedi. It's the same exact one.
I hope it's false. I'm hoping. And then, Mike, what was your answer to this? True or false?
True.
Damn. Question 12. What would be a better title than Book of Boba Fett? Because that's what everyone's complaint is, right, Mike? Don't we hate going on these streams and watching people lie and say, oh, it was so bad. Oh, my God, how could you? It's not even his own show. 2 whole episodes for The Mandalorian. This thing wasn't even Book of Boba Fett. What's going on here? It's just a title, guys.
I don't sound like that. I don't sound like that. But look, this is the perfect title.
Yes, you do, K-Dot.
The Book of Mando and Grogu and Luke and Ahsoka would be the best title.
They were in one episode.
And
the name of the show should be called The Sopranos.
Nah. Sopranos on a diet. That's a better title. Sopranos on a diet.
What's
or Mafia on a diet.
About? What's he talking about here? They showed up in Solo as well.
The Pykes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're working. Don't they work with
Maul?
So, and that's reference. Yeah, that's totally referencing Solo movie.
Naming it Star Wars: A Boba Fett Journey.
Oh yeah, but Maul's dead now. Shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Star Wars: A Boba Fett Journey. That's no.
Nah.
Not to me. I feel like you should have kept the chapters because we were at chapter 16 for Mandalorian's finale. Then this show could have been called Lost Chapters. And then, you'd never know. Maybe we will get to see what happens with Boba. Maybe we'll go to see what Grogu's going on. If you just kept the chapters.
For you anime geeks out there, Lone Wolf and Cobb. Anybody?
I don't even know what you're referencing.
Lone Wolf and Cobb, you mean like you either choose the ball or the samurai sword?
Yeah. That's kind of like what they're referencing, right? With
books do have chapters.
The Lone Wolf and Cobb, the Sword of Vengeance.
I saw somebody talk about that in a breakdown, but yeah, I what you mean now.
Oh no, not that one.
Books do have chapters where the main character isn't in it when they're setting up the story and stuff like that. So
good point.
I don't understand this nonsense. I just don't. It's just
the only issue I have with this is that it was only 7 episodes. If they gave us 10 episodes and gave us 2 of these episodes, I'd be fine with it. But for 7 episodes, I think.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 6.
It was supposed to be 6, and they added the last one, not this one, but the Mando.
The one before, yeah.
So would everybody still be thinking that way? Like, oh, it's the Mandalorian show. If they took that episode out and only gave us the 6 with this episode that just came out with only that one appearance.
This was supposed to go back to back, right? This was supposed to the second it ended, the next week was supposed to be Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah,
so I think that episode 5 was supposed to be the first episode of Mandalorian, right? Because then now we're getting Mandalorian.
Well, because Mando season 3 got pushed back due to COVID too, so
yeah,
everything got pushed around. But because we talked about,
so they give you a little bit, right? And yeah, we got more Mando out of it, but they couldn't just not give it to you. It was supposed to be happening in April, right? Now it's going to happen in potentially January of next year, maybe.
Well, see, this is my thing. We talked about it yesterday on MSK stream. If this show found a way to turn Boba Fett into an interesting character, which it hasn't done for me, then I'd be okay with this. But these episodes could have went to developing Boba more, show his time on Kamino, all that stuff. Just try to give him something more, show more, let him do his crime lord stuff. We haven't even seen him do the training with the Rancor. And he's just gonna be writing it in this 7th episode.
Probably, yeah.
He's gonna be writing it. He's gonna be writing it.
They wrote this series and they go to the finale episode. They're like, what would be really cool If Din was here, if Grogu was here, if we got Luke showing up, if we had Ahsoka, we should make this longer than a 6-episode thing. Okay, cool. We'll write it in to explain all of this stuff, and that's what happened. That's where we are. Because if we would have gotten Din appearing, we would have been like, hey, what's he been up to? We need to know. So that last episode was necessary.
All right, and also this is a limited series too. Like, I understand they want to have this go right into Mando season 3, but you don't have that many episodes. This episode only has 7 episodes. All these should have been dedicated to Boba Fett, building him as a character. But if this was a show that was like 20-something episodes, like, it's fine. Okay, make an episode about Mando. Go ahead.
So DC Dots, when he shows up riding the Rancor, you're gonna be upset that you didn't get a montage of him learning how to ride.
I mean, I don't want to see him ride it in general because he has a jetpack. Why would you do that when you can fly? It's like that's like Superman riding on a motorcycle.
Well, unless Machete goes and rides the Rancor into battle.
Yeah, if he rides
and then gets shot, and then Boba Fett takes over. Like that's the only outcome that I'll accept.
You guys know how he's gonna ride the Rancor?
I was gonna like in Lord of the Rings.
No, like a bantha.
Oh dear.
That was no one's gonna laugh at that one. Like a
Canadian humor.
No.
Why did it have to be Canadian humor? There's like 3 others who didn't really laugh at that who represent Canada. Just because you got in a little civil war with your American pal down there doesn't mean you have to stoke division and throw shots over here.
Wait, no. All right, chill.
Chill.
If he rides it like a bantha, he has to tell his Rancor at the end, slap on his face, and say, "Go have Rancor babies. Go have Rancor babies."
Yeah.
Go off into the sunset, into the desert, so you can have Rancor babies.
That's right, Rancor babies.
Wait, quick question: are Rancors like? Is there multiple Rancors on Tatooine, or are they like a rare commodity that get transported to the planet? Because the only Rancors down there with Jabba's Rancor.
Weren't they in Felucia in the Force Unleashed video game? There, that was the planet they were on, the plant Felucia planet.
Yeah.
Force Awakens. It's been a while. But to answer Quaid's
Force Unleashed is not canon, so I don't know if that's true. But maybe they are. That is the planet they're from because there was a bunch of them.
Well, to K-Dot's point, I think they are transferred from another planet because if you remember in the Clone Wars, was it Clone Wars or Rebels? One of the shows, they had to actually I think it might have been Bad Batch, where they had to get the baby Rancor.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch, where they had to get the baby Rancor. So yeah, I think they're pretty rare.
Back to the question, because I had another idea. What if the show was called Tatooine? Like Luke's home planet is Tatooine, so that would explain why he's there.
Book of Tatooine.
Book of Tatooine. Tatooine chapters, Tales of Tatooine, Tales of anything.
Tatooine, yeah. That would make more sense. It's just about the people on Tatooine.
The 13th question: would you pay Disney Plus $20 extra to watch that episode again? No. So you saw it once and you're like, damn, I need to see this again. Ooh, there's a charge on it because they know I saw it once. Only way I can see this is $20. Canadian or American, $20. I would pay $20 to watch that thing again because I have.
That's like $4.
You can just go watch those clips again on YouTube. Eventually, you're all going to be on there.
This is a universe.
Or Onzo Vision. I'm not paying $20 to watch it again.
Damn, you're not paying $20 to watch it again. I would. That's how good it was for me.
That's a movie ticket.
Yeah, it was a movie quality.
Yeah.
And
next week we're getting the episode 7 that we deserved in 2015.
And did you notice like these last 3 episodes? Well, the last 2 have been like, especially the Mando one, straight up movie quality. Like that Halo ring and stuff. That was movie quality. That was only the movie quality episodes in the show so far. Like when Mando popped up, it's clear they put all the budget into.
So were they reshot? Do you think that that originally like the Book of Boba Fett wasn't those first?
Well, I think maybe
4 episodes were shot in
Mando season 3, and they reworked it to where it can work a Book of Boba Fett.
That's fair. I mean, in answer to this question,
Mando season 2, and had these ready to go. As like, hey, let's get some like episode. Let's test out what Mando season 3 may look like. And they thought of Book of Boba Fett. And it's like, okay, let's just try to mix this up here. Maybe they did that.
Rancors are from Dathomir.
Oh, the planet with the Night Sisters,
which is Maul's planet too, right?
Yeah.
Mike, I'm asking you, would you pay $20 extra to watch that episode again?
No.
I love how we can hear his microphone turn off and turn on, and he goes, no. Travis.
No, I don't think I'd pay $20. As much as I love this episode, I don't think I'd pay $20 to watch it again because I already know what's going to happen. I've seen it and stuff. I'd probably just pay the $20 for the next episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's sort of an answer that I'll accept. And then Anza, what was your answer to this? Would you pay 20? He's not there. Question 14. What would be a pay? Did you not go, neighbor? Go ahead.
No. I'll pay $20 just to see Grogu finally get a chance to eat the frog.
That's how much you wanted to see. That's how much emotional heartstrings they touched.
The look on his face when he was, and his mouth just going as he's trying to like get it in.
Hey, remember
I would
the
pay
scene?
$20 to do that.
Remember Attack of the Clones where Padme and Anakin were like just chatting, and food was being lifted into the fork, and she kind of ate it, and it was seemed as like, bro, what's going on? You're not supposed to do that. Oh, he said something like, Master Yoda would kill me if you saw me doing this. I guess you're not supposed to play with your food. Luke doesn't give a shit. Because Grogu was playing with his food, and Luke was like, yeah, 78 frogs, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's like, eat, young one. Yeah. I really thought he was about to bring the frogs over and say, eat, young one, and then we're going to get back to training, but eat.
Exactly. Luke should not be someone who's fixed on, like, the religion of the Jedi and how you can't break rules. Because you love Leia, don't you? Wasn't that one of the things?
Because that's Luke always broke rules. Like, he's always been kind of rebellious because, you know, he tried to rebel against his uncle. Like,
wait, did he break rules or did he not know? Because he wasn't trained properly.
Good point.
I mean, he was still rebellious because I even remember Obi-Wan told him, like, you know, hey, you know, I think you should kill your father. He's like, no. Even Yoda says, he was like, no, I'm not going to kill my dad. You guys are crazy. Like, he went against their decisions.
But you got to also understand after that, around these times, Luke has the books, right? So he's probably reading the Jedi books and learning about the history of the Jedi, and he's probably conflicted between, you know, following the rules of the book and following his own rules, because he does have attachments. He had attachments to Han, he had attachments to Leia, he had attachments to Chewie, he even had attachments to R2-D2. Right, so I think he's kind of trying to get that balance between the books and what he actually feels.
Right, but see, real quick, and this is the thing too, like, because even when he trains Kylo, it doesn't really make sense because Ben is attached to Leia and Han. He's teaching someone that's already going, like, he's already repeating the same mistakes that's obviously was made with like Anakin and stuff and these attachments. Like, I think Luke should just abandon the attachment stuff because it's like it's kind of BS.
But the attachment stuff was, shit.
It's really BS if you honestly think about it. Like, you know, you can't ever like really love or be with anybody. You can't like just be a freaking hermit. And we've seen it. This is, if you notice, the trend with all the Jedis. After all of them was defeated after Order 66, what did they do? Become hermits and run away and hide. Like, they became cowards with the ways they was doing and stuff.
You have to be a loner if you're going to be a Jedi. Ahsoka's a loner herself right now. Luke became a loner at 17 when the Imperial stormtroopers with good aim killed all of his family and everything. So Ben should not have been trained.
It's kind of a messed up like rule, like you can have attachments and stuff. It's like, okay.
Question 14. What would be a polite way to tweet about the episode for the fans who are asleep?
Oh. Cad Bane's in the episode, guys.
That was relentless. That day, if you haven't watched that episode and you open Twitter, at this point in Disney Plus, right, where they come out on a Wednesday at 3 a.m., everyone knows that. If you get spoiled, it's your fault for waking up and going, I'm going to look at my Twitter feed. That's on you.
Dude,
right,
I remember, I posted the Cad Bane reveal on my TikTok, right, in West Coast. So I posted on there. A bunch of people commented, man, I love waking up on TikTok getting spoiled. Like, well, why are you on TikTok?
Yes. That's a you problem, buddy.
Yeah,
we are.
that's a you problem,
This
not a
is
me
not the
problem,
first
that's a you
time
problem.
around. We've
Right.
had other Marvel shows ruin it, because like Marvel had 5 series by now. We've
Mhm.
had the Mandalorian stuff. If the little baby Grogu being revealed wasn't, the first time, the Luke Skywalker episode definitely was a reveal of waking up to spoilers at this point.
The end credits weren't even done on Mandalorian, the season 2 finale, and it was all over Twitter that Luke was on there. Like, it was trending. That's how bad it was.
Just look. I know people who actually turned off all their social media when Spider-Man: No Way Home came out.
Oh, dude.
Right? Yeah.
I added
So-
every character that's ever been in Spider-Man. I added them to the ban list. I didn't want
Yeah,
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
it worked.
How'd you guys not know about the Spider-Man reveal? I mean,
Well, we always knew about the rumors of
most
it.
people,
Right.
most people knew about that like a year prior. Like,
Right.
Right.
they knew exactly the whole movie plot 6 months prior to release.
because there was a
I still
leak, but,
haven't seen it, and I know the whole plot of the movie.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, a lot of people heard it, but they weren't sure. You know what I mean? It wasn't like 100% confirmed that they were going to be in it. It was all more or less rumors and stuff. So a lot of people were like, "Listen, I don't want to know for sure that they're in it." So
And that's a
that's
big
why-
difference.
Yeah.
Mike, you
Well, it's
said
like
something
the
that I
WandaVision thing, man. Like we saw Agatha Harkness, and until the second last episode, it was like, oh my god, it's Agatha Harkness. Like, you freaking knew that from episode 2. You know it's there.
most of us.
But like,
knew.
I guess until they dropped the actual name itself, like I knew that like Luke was coming. Like they
like-
said a spoiler, like a cameo of like intergalactic proportions, and I'm like, it's Luke Skywalker. Of course,
It's
it's
like
Oh,
this. Once
well,
the stuff got leaked, right? You can't say fully 100% sure that all that stuff is
It's
correct.
right. It's
But
true.
once those trailers came out, especially when Doc Ock and all them was confirmed, Alfred Molina confirmed it. It was like Andrew told me they're in it. Like
Mhm.
the trailer was they wasn't in it, but the trailer was proof. Because if the Doc Ock and Green Goblin stuff was right, then it's Toby and Andrew stuff, and it's most likely right too in this multiverse thing that this movie was leaked to be.
But you see this
Because before the leaks came out, we didn't really know what Spider-Man 3 was going to be. We
Right.
didn't know if it was going to be a Spider-Verse movie. Could have been a Craven versus Spider-Man movie. But when those leaks came out, we was like, this is a Spider-Verse movie. Let's go.
And to the neighbor's point, yeah, people knew. Well, I mean, you would have to be living under a rock if you didn't know it was going to be Luke, because we already knew that a Jedi was coming for Mando, right? It only made sense that it was Luke. I know my boy Danny wanted Mace Windu so bad, right? But it had to have been Luke. That was the only choice for it to be when they said a Jedi was coming for him. So
it was the
There was
best.
only
choice.
four.
I mean, look, well,
yeah, for sure.
Anzo,
Four?
if Grogu was trained by Mace, Grogu would have became a beast, bro.
He is a beast. He's remembering things instantly. So
Mhm.
he could have been.
No,
trained
no,
by
Maybe
Mace.
he was
Yeah,
snatched by Mace.
No.
Yeah,
Mace-
he could have been
would-
trained by
wouldn't have
Mace.
been-
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been Disney friendly. Imagine Grogu walking around saying, "What's up, motherfucker?" Like, bro, just imagine it.
He just ruined.
Well, he
Star
wouldn't
Wars.
accept it because he's gonna get a purple light. He doesn't have a purple lightsaber, right? So
Right.
I mean, that's why he's taking the Beskar armor.
Oh no,
He
he's
was trained by Mace Windu.
He's gonna take the green lightsaber that Luke's gonna give him. Like, it would be better in purple. Go find a purple kyber crystal, put it in there. Now it's better. And then
How did we go?
write what Samuel Jackson had on his lightsaber, because he actually wrote his little catchphrase on the
He did.
lightsaber.
Yeah, he
Outside
did.
of it, Grogu writes the same thing. Like,
This
I
is
wonder
the
Has
what-
best.
anybody
Mace.
seen the animated stuff? What was it called?
the OG
There's
Clone
the stuff
Wars.
that came out. Yeah, the anime stuff. There was one episode on there where it's like the 7 remaining Jedi, but the Jedi, the
Oh,
lightsaber.
visions.
Yes, visions. The lightsaber
It's
blacksmith.
just color.
He
Right, that one?
the lightsabers like choose the color of like what their personality
Mhm.
is, and like he chucks out all the lightsabers, and like half of them turn Sith, like they're all glow red. And there's one guy who's got the purple lightsaber, and he's
Yeah.
like he's balanced between he's with the Sith, and he was originally there to kill the Jedi, but then he flips. So
Yeah.
like, what if that's he finds one of these crystals and he becomes.
Well, I think because in I'm not sure if this is canon, but in the lore and the books and stuff, they say that Mace uses the ways of the Sith and the Jedi, and he puts it together to make his own new style of things to do.
Is he like a gray Jedi or something?
Mike, don't start.
He's not a great Jedi, but like he is a different term for him. Like he's different from a great Jedi. Like he's unique. He's the only one on the council that uses those ways, like the Sith and the light. I don't know how he got on the council that way. Then
he's a great
Wait a minute. If that's
chaotic neutral.
If that's true, let's say they make that canon. If that's true, shouldn't Yoda be more worried about Mace Windu than Anakin?
That's your guy.
If Mace is using the ways of the Sith too, because remember that episode of Clone Wars when they interrogated that guy and it was choking him and stuff.
What?
Anakin and Mace.
Yeah, it was Cad Bane. Wasn't it Cad Bane?
Yeah, it was somebody, and it was like straight up like choking this dude. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, Mace Windu had control to the very end, which it's not over for him. He's not dead, but he always had control. So the question was, what's a polite way to tweet about the episode for the fans? I think you should start with Star Wars spoilers at the beginning of your tweet, and you're good. Your hands off. Like, you did more than enough. You put out the little, this is going to be a spoiler. I think if you put out a photo, does Twitter have an option to say, like, this is masked? You know, Discord, you can put a photo, but you have to click on the photo first, and then you'll see it.
You straight up see it.
Well, maybe pictures are not appropriate.
Condensed versions, and then you click it, it blows up. But you still see some of the picture.
I'm just saying, put the word spoiler in front of it. 15. How friendly is R2-D2? He's so friendly that when Din arrived on that planet, hello there, friend. I thought you hated droids. You didn't even want an astromech droid on your new Naboo starfighter, but you're friendly with R2? Is this character development, or is this just because R2 is that friendly?
Nah, he's only playing nice because his son is there, and he's trying to.
R2's friendly playing nice. Deserve to be friendly too.
Mando is kind of getting warmed up to droids now. Like he's getting a little bit more character development, like you said, towards droids. But R2-D2 is just all around friendly. He may be a dick, but like to us, he just seems cute and friendly.
R2's an asshole. He just shuts down. Like Mando's asking him questions like, "Hey, how long am I supposed to wait here?" R2's just like, "Nah."
That's because he's bad at keeping secrets, though. So he's like, you know what? I got to remove myself from the situation, shut down, and then Ahsoka came over.
Yeah, you got to do what Organa taught him to do. Shut down. Forget stuff. Turn yourself off.
But yeah, after what IG-11 did for them at the end of season 1, I think it was, if I remember. Yeah, it was season 1. I think that did a lot for Mando's maybe warming up of certain robots, droids, you know.
On the droid who helped him build his starfighter there.
There were a couple of them.
Yeah.
But how much work did they put in the montage? They weren't that essential to the the fixing up. They were
helping.
Not that much.
Yeah, he got the part for him, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, where does this go?
And one had the light.
That light thing was frustrating, though. Let's not give it. No, look, it was R2. Okay, R2 was just that friendly. The 16th question of 33 burning Star Wars questions.
Don't be a droidist, okay, Chillmonger?
I know, right? Was Grogu friends with Master Skywalker? There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, he was friendly. He looked like a baby. That little flashback when he's a little younger, baby Grogu. Yeah, he looked really young and really babyish. Yeah. But I'm sure the kids liked that, and they were like same age by that point. Yeah, they were good.
Here's 16A. Would Revenge of the Sith have been a better film had you seen Anakin slaughtering all them younglings?
Stop it, Mike.
I mean, hey, I would have loved to see that. It would have made it R-rated, but you know,
what?
I would love to see that.
I'll pay $20 to see that.
F them kids, right, K-Dot?
Yeah, I would pay $30 to watch an R-rated version of Revenge of the Sith and Anakin slaughters all the children and stuff.
I don't believe you.
CGI children. Ain't that fair?
Yeah. So uncivilized.
For real.
Hey, Anakin's also uncivilized too.
Mhm.
The Tusken Raider children didn't get any mercy.
It's because
Then you will die.
But no, I think he was friends with Master Skywalker. Yeah, I think he was friends with him.
What were you saying, Mike?
oh no, nothing. I just yeah.
I think Grogu was smart. I think like all right, let's say Grogu was walking down the hall, he was coming in, right? And then he saw Anakin coming. He's like, oh, the Anakin looks weird. He's trying to tell him, like, come on, bro, we gotta go. But no, Master Skywalker's our friend. Like, bro, we need to go. Grogu was probably trying to warn them.
Grogu was definitely friends. Grogu was definitely friends with that kid and definitely stole his cookies and blue milk.
Yeah, that's right.
That blue milk, not that green stuff though.
No.
Because we already know Grogu likes to steal like eggs from other things. So yeah, he stole the cookies. Oh, he did steal the cookies too. Yes, yes, he did steal the cookies. You're right.
When Grogu's hungry, whoo.
Yeah, for real.
TM Nerdy, was Grogu back in the Jedi days in Coruscant? Was he friends with Master Skywalker? That kid.
I think so. I do agree with Neighbor. Like, he probably did steal his cookies and milk.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably did that with a lot of the kids around there, but they all thought it was all good fun and stuff. And you're like, oh, he doesn't know any better. He's just a baby. So yeah, I think they were kind of friends. And the kids kind of like 50. Well, 50 at that point.
Mm-hmm. You'd be
Grogu, why
10?
you steal my cookies and milk, Grogu?
Question number 17, TM Nerdy. Is George Lucas secretly creating these stories and Filoni are executing his visions?
Probably. I mean, they're probably talking to him, getting some inspiration.
I think they're taking like what they've read in the books and what they've loved about Star Wars and taking bits and pieces of it and writing it, doing it themselves. Like I said earlier, like they're like single-handedly changing the way we see Star Wars going forth, and they're doing a better job at it than.
So it is them. It's not my fringe theory that George Lucas is secretly just saying, hey, guys, you're going to do this, this, and that. This is how I want Ahsoka and execute. No?
You saw the prequels, right?
No.
I do know that George Lucas has been on set and has talked to them and has loved it. So I think they're just taking his vision and making it better.
And I also think that they may be running like points by him, say, hey, this is what we wanted to do. What do you think of this? No, that's not part of Star Wars. Try it this way. So I think that could be, but I don't think George Lucas is up sitting there. No, Ahsoka has to do this and Ahsoka has to do that. No, I think he's pretty much done with Star Wars in that type of way.
Man.
So yeah.
Unless they have access to a time machine and go back in time to either 76 to 83, then I think they're asking George Lucas. Afterwards, no, because it's Star Wars stuff is actually good.
No, look, this is the thing about George Lucas, right? He has great ideas, but like the thing is, he just is not
execution. Yeah.
But he has great ideas for his stuff within Star Wars and everything. It's just the execution. Like Filoni, all he did was really just bounce off of, not saying he didn't have any original ideas like Ahsoka, original character, but when he made Clone Wars, really bouncing off of what George Lucas did and just helped improve it.
Right. Him and George Lucas was doing Clone Wars. Like, let's not get twisted. Like, and Clone Wars is fire. Like a lot of those, I won't say it was like 7 seasons. So not everything is great, but there are some real bangers in that whole series, man. Yeah. So yeah.
Are we implying that George Lucas is kind of like the Emperor?
Mike is.
In the prequels where he's like orchestrating everything, you know, getting Darth Jar Jar in there into the Senate to, you know.
Hey, if they did Darth Jar Jar, that would have been tight.
No, I'm just pointing out that from the George Lucas from the original trilogies is not the same one from the prequel trilogies. And this whole narrative that people are pushing forward because they want to have a reason to still continue to be able to not be embarrassed about saying that they like Star Wars is that George Lucas needs to come back and save it when he was the one that started its decline with those trash prequel movies is ridiculous.
Not true.
That's impossible.
Oh no, it's very possible, my friend. Very possible.
Mike's slander of the prequels.
Yeah, look, I hope, fingers crossed. Oh my god, we got a second one. George Lucas secretly creating the stories. It's possible. Might not have too much influence, but he's definitely a consultant. If they write the story, Favloni do this, and they go, well, you know what we're gonna do before we put this in production, George, would this ever happened? And he will go, yeah, good job. That's Star Wars. I feel like he's got some sort of a role in Star Wars. Okay, guys, don't try to discredit me. Don't try to name call me or anything. That's cap.
Yeah,
No.
wait, and let's make this clear. I'm not trying to imply that George Lucas is working like Sidious in his little black cloak on Skywalker Ranch with his beautiful wife, going like, calling up Filoni, like, you do everything I say, and I say it.
Yeah, right
I
on.
don't think he's doing none of that.
18. How pissed is Robert Rodriguez?
Robert Rodriguez should be pissed at himself. Look what he did to Boba Fett.
Was he directing the first 4 episodes, or was he showrunner?
Yeah.
He directed the first episode. Yeah, he directed the first 4.
Oh, damn. Yeah, so he should be pretty pissed right now because
he directed that. He directed that Mandalorian season 2 episode where Boba Fett was tight.
yeah,
Doing all that badass stuff.
so he
should
can't
be
do it.
disappointed in himself. He can do it, but it's like, I don't know what's happening. It's the same person directing it. Maybe different writers. Maybe the writers is the actual issue, but like,
Was Bryce Dallas Howard on the last episode, or was she just on the Mando one?
The Mando one.
I think she was just on a Mando episode.
Hold on.
Who did the last one?
Robert Rodriguez
Filoni.
directed the first and third episodes. Steph Green did the second, and Kevin Tancharoen did the fourth.
Okay, then those guys are not getting called back.
But he is directing the last one too. So
Okay, good. See, he's
is
gonna
that.
be just as crazy as he was in Mandalorian season 2. I'm talking about Boba Fett. He'll be just as crazy, powerful. You'll see.
I don't
and
know.
Favreau wrote every episode except for 6, which was co-written with Filoni.
Dave Filoni. Yeah, this
Because
episode 6 was the Filoni episode, clearly, and we knew that going in. The last time before, when I was doing Star Wars burning questions, we were talking about the Filoni episode, and we were like, "Yo, this is gonna be epic." It sure was.
Well, that was the Ahsoka episode of 2, right? The Filoni episode.
Yeah, he did the Ahsoka episode there.
Yeah,
And he did the Cad Bane one. So, yeah.
but
Yeah.
isn't Filoni doing the Ahsoka series? Like that's his baby, the series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's because that's his baby, and that's who he created and stuff. So he's going to have full rights to doing that show because he doesn't want to like have any. He wants to have the kind of artist kind of feeling towards it, like wants to like run with it in a way.
I think that will feel
Creative.
the closest to Star Wars than any of the shows that we've gotten so far. Watch.
Yeah.
That'll really feel like Star Wars because Dave Filoni has learned from George Lucas. Even if you watch some of his interviews, like he speaks Star Wars like George Lucas did. So I'm really excited for that one.
There's an interview he did with Christian Harloff, and Christian Harloff posted it on his YouTube channel just yesterday. It tells you like how he talks about Ahsoka and like how he talks about Rebels and things that belong to him, as if no one gets a say on what to do with Chopper, with like all these Rebels characters until it goes through him. So when Rogue One was being created, he goes, that takes place in the same time frame. It probably should make sense. So cool. We'll put him in there. We'll just not. We'll put a ghost ship inside of the the big epic thing. We'll make it make sense because of me. That has to go through me first. He says it like that, sort of just like that. People here in the comments saying the
Makes
comic where
sense.
Mace created the 7th form is a legend. Mace Windu never went dark. He's simply a bad MF.
That's only
What's-
because that's what his wallet says.
Hey, what's up, Astro?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he was bad, but I'm saying he was between. He used forms of Sith and the Jedi.
19
Wait,
Freetown.
does that make him bad though if he used the Sith?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I hope if that stuff's canon, it contradicts a whole bunch of stuff. Because then Yoda should be worried about Mace Windu too.
It's not canon. It's not.
Yeah.
That's the.
But that's the thing. Like Disney could make that stuff canon. That's the thing too. I hope they don't make it canon. Because then
The
you're
19th
gonna
question.
make Star Wars make less sense.
No, you're right. It's the 33 burning Book of Boba Fett chapter number 6 questions here with TM Nerdy, Neighbor to the North Comics, Rogue Comics, SSJK. and the Biggerford Entertainment. We going with Freetown or we're going with Mos Pelgo? I think if they decided it's called Freetown, it's much more easier to remember. Freetown it is.
I mean, it's not like the town was really oppressed. It was just a crate dragon coming through. It wasn't really oppressed. I mean, they're free of the crate dragon, but
I don't like Freetown. I'm gonna go with Mos Pelgo.
Damn,
that sounds more exotic. If you're trying to encourage travel to your planet, hey, we're Freetown, come visit us. That sounds like ghetto. So you're gonna want to go with the more exotic, like mysterious, like Mos Pelgo.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 3 Mos Pelgos. I go Freetown. Nerdy, is it a Freetown or Mos Pelgo?
If you look on a map and you type in Prince Edward Island and you type in Freetown, we have a Freetown here in my island. Mm-hmm. And I lived on that road, and it was just a road, literally just a road. But I'd have to go Freetown just because of the connection I have with a place called Freetown.
Ever been to Dildo?
So biased.
No.
Freetown bias. I see, Nerdy.
Yeah. Isn't Dildo in Saskatchewan?
That's
no,
in Newfoundland.
Wait, what did you just say, Chillmark?
There is a town called Dildo in the Canadian province of Newfoundland. And Jimmy Kimmel, a couple of years ago, found out about that and just made pure jokes about it. Neighbor to the north, I'm asking you now the question. Mos Pelgo or Freetown?
I'm going with Mos Pelgo just because you might get confused with like all the other mosses, and like if you're booking your trip, you might accidentally you're like, oh, let's go to Mos Pelgo, and then you end up there, and you meant to go to Mos Eisley, but you end up in Mos Pelgo.
Hey, well, look,
I think it's just for like a straight confusion on the any sort of like TripAdvisor or any sort of like booking sites, you would definitely might get some extra foot traffic.
Look, Chillmonger, just to make Canada feel better, in Turkey there's a city called Batman.
Word? Is it spelled Batman?
Yeah.
Is it overrated?
If Nolan did it, yes. If Nolan lives there, yes, it's overrated.
What is happening?
I'm sorry, K-Dots, man. I know you're a DC guy.
What? Oh, nah. Wait, what lives you going around telling people? I'm not just a DC guy. Oh my god.
Oh, you are DC Dots.
You are a DC guy, yes, facts.
Totally a DC guy.
Especially when your dad's in the same stream too.
Oh
then it just amplifies to ridiculousness.
I'm never doing another DC stream again. Let's remind everyone of the bet that we did, right? K-Dot, you were there. It was if the Batman film makes $1 billion, I am gonna do 33. I'm gonna do 66 burning DC questions. I'll do 2 in a row. But if Nerdman, who is the DC head, Hot Takes Tuesdays, if it does make $1 billion, then shoot, I lose the bet. And wait, no, other way around. If I win the bet, he's gonna do a rap about the MCU. That was the bet.
Wait, was it $1 billion, or I thought it was supposed to make what No Way Home did?
That's what Ashley was trying to get.
That was Anzo and Nerdman.
Okay.
Me and him have it has to beat Spider-Man No Way Home. Chillmonger says it has to make $1 billion. Yeah. I think it's gonna make about half of what No Way Home made.
Hey, chill. Get ready to do those DC questions. Get ready. You should not took that bet. Get ready, bro.
It's PG-13, yes. There was a Razor Crest in the Galaxy Fleet at the end of Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, and there were a couple of N1 starfighters. Were they silver with a little bit of yellow?
They're going to pull a Middle-earth Shadow of War. Oh, no.
I bet you every ship possible was in that, ending fleet, so I wouldn't put too much weight into that, but it could be something to it.
That's definitely not Mando.
Found Dildo. I thought Dildo was a Star Wars planet. Yo, W, you're in here. These MCU fans, I tell you.
Well, the Razor Crest isn't a unique ship, right? Like the Millennium Falcon's unique, right?
We've only ever seen one Razor Crest in the whole series.
But the way Mando talked about it is like he went to go see the lady, like, give me a Razor Crest, like they are kind of common.
He was like, I want a Volkswagen. Like, it's
it
coming.
ain't like the Millennium Falcon. If it was like the Millennium Falcon, which is rare to see in the galaxy, then maybe.
Yeah.
Cad Bane is gonna kill Fennec.
No.
I've heard that too, man. Were you discussing that last night too?
Hope not.
Travis?
I don't think neither one's going to die. Cad Bane's going to get wounded and he'll be back later.
I think somebody was mentioned it last night that somebody's going to kill Fennec in that, and that's going to be the. But I kind of feel like they're going to kill Boba Fett, and that's the whole thing about the Book of Boba Fett. This is the story of Boba Fett's rise to fame and then downfall.
Yeah,
and how he changed Tatooine for the better.
Yeah,
like going forth in that. This is why it's called like it has a whole kind of Bible feel to it. So that's why I feel like it's good. It's the story of this character and how he triumphed over.
You sound like Mason. Do you ever watch Comics and Crosses? He's like, there's a biblical theme here. He always says that.
That's what I get from it, just because of the whole. People are always upset that it's called the Book of Boba Fett, but that's the reason why I think it's called the Book of Boba Fett. It's like it's his story, and like even in the Bible, it's not always about this one character. Sometimes it shows you like these other characters and side stories that come in. So,
I think you may be right. I think they may end up killing off Boba Fett, but I don't think after this season. I think they're gonna have another season or two.
Oh, we said it was a limited series. So
really?
We brought up Cad Bane. Is the deputy more to blame than Cad Bane himself? No. Cad Bane came to... No, I'm going to say actually. Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to blame the deputy more. Cad Bane had a message, and it was to, we'll give you the same amount of money. We'll match. Don't join Boba Fett. That man did missions for the Empire. He's bad. Okay. That's all he was going to do. And he was going to talk very sternly and strongly. But no one was reaching for the weapons. Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth were not. It's that deputy's to blame. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and blame the deputy. Going to blame him, right?
I mean, isn't Cad Bane a hypocrite much? I mean, he did missions for the Sith.
Not the same as the Empire.
The Sith are the Empire.
Not everyone knows that.
I'm gonna have to say the deputy is kind of lame too, because Vanth, he's a good shot. Like he can take care of himself. If he wasn't distracted by that deputy, he might have not have even gotten shot. He might have actually taken down Cad Bane. And Cad Bane was getting ready to shoot and stuff, never left his eyes off of Vanth, but like could see the deputy getting ready to shoot. So like the deputy was the one who initiated the whole shots being shot in the first place.
Hands down, the deputy is to blame because he told him, don't come here, and he still came out. You know what I mean? He's like, go back inside. Still came out. So the deputy is definitely to blame. And I think he probably would have had a better fight, like standoff, or would have shot Cad Bane if deputy didn't step in. So yeah.
Mike, is the deputy more to blame than Cad Bane?
Oh, absolutely. And he should have put on his red shirt before he stepped out too.
Hey, since he's up on the screen right now, how do we like his face? A lot of complaints that he was too light, and I thought the same thing. But then I'm like, he's on a planet with two suns. That's the reflection of the sand.
Yeah. That's nitpicking at that point. There was also people. Remember, who was nitpicking about how long Ahsoka's things was.
See, and what I was told is like the lightness of his face, and that just goes to show how much he's aged since like the Clone Wars and Bad Batch.
Yeah, maybe his species, they start off darker, and then throughout time they get exactly. That's the perfect. There, we just explained the shit.
It makes sense. Like when you get older and stuff, you kind of don't start to look yourself. You start looking a lot more pale. Skin starts to look raggedy and stuff. Like, and
it's gray hair.
It's honestly a nitpick. It's like nitpicking if like, ooh, Thanos' boots aren't yellow enough. Ooh, it's like
how can you
people was nitpicking Ahsoka's things. So
her Leku.
I don't take those people serious.
But in animation, everything is exaggerated. So then when we see them live,
Count Dooku's chin, bro, it's like super long.
Yeah. See?
I think this is a perfect rendition of Cad Bane.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't think you can get any better than that. Like you're taking a non-existent entity and making it, CGI. I think it looks.
The hat's not dusty enough like in the animation. 0 points.
Hey, you went to the bar and he, instead of a helmet scrub, he got a hat wash, right?
15 likes, 15 watching. His gray hair, LOL. He has hair?
No, he's bald.
Yeah. He was bald in the prison episode. So the deputy is more to blame. I think we most agree on that one there. Bane is getting his own show. Just watch.
A villain show? Yeah. I'll take that.
I doubt that one.
Cad Bane or Darth Bane?
Cad Bane.
I'm still pissed Count Dooku's head doesn't look like a banana when we seen him in live action.
Don't you can use CGI.
21 of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Did Ahsoka just save the galaxy from Darth Grogu?
No.
I don't think. Yeah. See, I don't think he's going to turn to the dark side. He has had like those dark side moments, but it's all about balance. Like any Jedi can become a Sith.
Yes.
And it's just about the path. But I don't think, like I said before, Grogu is going to choose the side of being the Mandalorian. He's going to hold the darksaber. He's going to wield the darksaber and be that character. But so I don't think he's going to ever be a Darth Grogu. So did Ahsoka just save the galaxy from Darth Grogu? No, because there's not going to be a Darth Grogu.
Before the next one of you answered this question, joining us is none other than Second Street Marvel. What's going on, Trinity? Trinity in the building. Thank you for joining me.
Up, nice to meet you, man.
You're actually here. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
I'm gonna run by we're gonna go by all. Well, you made it a couple times before, but you're usually busy. Here, question number 1 was which side will Grogu choose? What did you think the answer was?
Oh, I mean, he's totally going blue pill. He's taking the chainmail.
Yeah.
He's taking that chainmail and he's gonna go out. He's gonna sow his royal oats, and then he's gonna come back and he's gonna get that lightsaber and say, "Give me that lightsaber, Luke."
Question number 7 was true or false. Cobb Vanth survived. How do you feel about this one?
I think so. I think he did.
Is Dave Filoni overrated?
Filoni, well, I wouldn't know. I've only seen what he's done on these shows. I haven't watched any of the animated stuff.
Okay.
But I think what we've got going on here is pretty good. I like.
And then, would you pay an extra $20 to see that episode again?
No.
Damn. All right, we're back in territory of did Ahsoka just save the galaxy from Darth Grogu? I'm gonna answer yes. Yes. Stopping Mandalorian or Din from giving that himself, stepping in, letting him know it's all about choice. She's with the truckers. She's all about that choice. She says, I'm just going to take this from you. If you want him to get it, that's what I'll do. Trinity, you got that? Yeah. You got that joke. Yeah, understood that reference. Yeah, but it's all about freedom of choice, And I feel like Ahsoka did stop a catastrophe from happening.
I'm going to say no. I think Grogu was like getting attached to Mando, and Mando was doing stuff that was he wasn't a bad guy, you know what I mean? So I think it was Mando more that saved him from the darkness of what happened in Order 66.
Right, and honestly, that attachment stuff, like, I still think it's BS. Like, the Jedis, they're not even like people. I'm not. All of them aren't human, but like, you need attachments as a like, you need to be. You have love, compassion, and relationships with people, like, to be a person, like, not a recluse. Not saying there's nothing wrong being a recluse, but like, you need to know people. You gotta have people that's gonna have your back if stuff go wrong. And no, she didn't stop a Darth Grogu because it wasn't just because Anakin had attachments that he broke off from the Jedi. They also gave him a rank but really didn't give him the position. It was like, oh, you are a Jedi, but you're not really. You're like, kind of, but here you go. They wasn't appreciating him because of all this work he'd been putting in, and they've been doubting him since day one. They've been doubting his potential, what he can be. They was doubting him and not supporting him.
I agree with you.
That's what it was. and there's nothing wrong with attachments. The Jedi was pricks. They wasn't supporting Anakin day one. If they support Grogu, if Luke does his best to support Grogu, do all that, he's gonna come out a good Jedi and good kid.
The question was, did Ahsoka just save the galaxy from Darth Grogu? Who wants to touch this one?
I'll go.
All right, I'll go. All right.
Trinity?
I don't think so. I mean, I think while like the Jedi has that code of, no personal attachments. I mean, let's be real. The real reason they have all that is so you're not basically don't kind of emotionally react to a situation when something happens to one of your loved ones and want to take your power and go out and get revenge and do all of those kinds of bad things, basically using that power in a bad way. Because if you look at it, they all really kind of have attachments, plus their weird attachment to this this whole line of thinking anyway. But I mean, they all kind of have attachments. You can see they all have affection for people and things, and I think that's part of it. But I think that's the biggest thing is that emotional attachment, and that's their biggest thing is what is this the kind of draws people to the dark side. And I don't think she saved anything, because you can see pretty much all the people that we've seen throughout these stories have kind of, I don't know, they've all kind of had personal attachments.
That's right.
In some way or another.
Every single one, even Obi-Wan Kenobi, the noble one himself, was getting it down with Duchess Sabine. Satine. He would have left the Jedi Order. I'm quoting him himself for that woman. So let's not pretend like it's something that they just don't do. Maybe to the north, did Ahsoka just save us from the evil Darth Grogu?
Potentially. I mean, the Jedi Order is kind of culty, in my opinion.
Definitely.
I mean, what if somebody made that sort of proposition, like the Emperor did to Anakin, where it's like, you can cheat death and say, hey, you can have the lightsaber and the Beskar armor. Like, come over to this side.
Is it possible to learn that power?
Yeah.
Right, and also like
Jedi.
Trinity, he brings up a good point. All the Jedi, this how they contradict themselves. They're a brotherhood. You need to have attachments. Like when they did that thing to Ahsoka, they all conspired together to like, yo, let's get her out of here. Like, we can't deal with this drama. It's like.
Does it remind you of something, K-Dot? Does that remind you of an online community, K-Dot?
I was about to say that's what the police do, the boys in blue. A bad cop does something, they go like, I mean, he's our bro. Things happen, but he's a bro. That's how I look at the Jedi and stuff. I'm not saying they're like the police. They are police, but like
they were
like the boys in blue. They're a brotherhood.
They were nice.
If one of them messes up, they're going to make so much excuses to back that person up. So much.
Yeah, there's just a few bad apples in the Jedi Council.
I do kind of feel like it's like they would back that person up only to the point to where they could actually get and judge that person themselves according to their code and their rule. So I mean, basically the analogy you're making actually is good. It's a good one.
It's like just as long as you don't like publicly jeopardize the order, you good.
20-second question. Will Luke consider slaying Grogu in his sleep? No, he will not. This is not how this is going to go down, right, Trinity?
Hey, man, I hope he does. Darkness in here.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Absolutely not.
No.
Thank you.
No, because because think about it. Mando's going to come there one day. He'll see Luke like getting ready to. Mando's like, you're evil. I'm taking him away from here.
And where's Jaded on this?
What would Jaded say?
You'd be like stab him 27 times.
I mean, we all know Jaded wants to see Grogu get stabbed in his sleep.
So here's a hot take. He's going to slay Grogu and then turn into the Joker.
You guys have imaginations. I thought this was a no-brainer. It's a no. Yeah. Anzo, me and you say no.
He's too cute.
He's too cute. He's also
he's like an adorable little, I don't know, green critter.
Like
whatever.
What's the name of the species?
I don't know what they're named.
I don't think they've even mentioned what their names are.
No,
Never.
Somebody mentioned that they're. I think it was.
It was Mike.
No, yeah, Mike last night said there was a name in one of the Dark Horse, but I
Evil
remember
Mike?
Dooku said yes, Evil Mike. Dooku said that they were the Greens. He's referred them as the Green ones.
I said that one. That's what I think. Yeah.
And you mentioned last week we were talking about that.
My little green friend. Maybe the species are green. That's what they are.
Maybe.
Right? Or maybe it's like when you call him a Newfie, it's something that they don't like to be called, and so he was being mean to Yoda.
What a bully.
But my real answer is no, because Grogu's gonna leave. He's gonna be the Mandalorian. That's been my answer the whole show. So
we have established that, and I don't disagree with that one bit. He is the Mandalorian.
Grogu's gonna go to Mando like, Father, this is the way.
The way this is. Will he say this is the way or the way this is? Question number 23 of 33 is, how do you tell are you there, Mike, by the way, Row Comics?
I am here.
How do you tell a fake Cod Bane fan from a real one?
Why is he blue?
Yeah, a real fan would be asking that, yeah. A fake fan wouldn't even know who the hell he was, right, Mike?
Exactly. Well, I'm not a fake fan. I just haven't watched the cartoons. So I don't know.
They're animated series, buddy. TM Nerdy?
I don't know if you could tell, like, most people would just be like, oh, it's Cad Bane, or if you look at it, if they weren't a fan before, they're definitely a fan now after seeing him and hearing him, like, because that was just amazing. So I'm one of those ones that watched the Clone Wars after I've watched the Bad Batch and went back and watched the Clone Wars. So my first appearance of Cad Bane was in the Bad Batch for me. So saying that, I do want to see like him and Fennec go up against each other again.
Yeah, that's a rematch we want, right, Trinity? How do you tell a fake Cad Bane fan from a real one?
You know, I would know. I wouldn't know. I mean, until he showed up in this series. I mean, I had only heard the name, and I don't even know who he is. I don't even know who he is. So, I guess you can't. I can't even say you're looking at one because I can't really say I'm a fan. But I seen it, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
A fake fan would be like, oh, awesome! Oh my god, it's him! He's here! Yeah. I love the hat! You know, one of those things. Right, neighbor to the north? How do you tell a fake Cad Bane fan?
I don't know. Just because I kind of knew this whole episode was spoiled for me. I mean, I go to work at 5 a.m. So by the time I get to work, I've got about 8 hours of sitting by myself in a restaurant listening to podcasts. So no matter what I put on, I already knew that Cad Bane was coming. So I mean, like, when I saw it, it was cool for me. But if I didn't watch Clone Wars, I wouldn't have known who the fuck that was. I just been like, hey, that's some cool guy. I would assume he's a bounty hunter of some sort. But yeah, I don't know what sort of how to distinguish a Cad Bane fan from I guess if you watched Clone Wars.
Then I'll ask you this bonus question here from Astro Wizard: who put the dent in Boba Fett's helmet? Cad Bane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a good way to like figure it out. Just give them that little trivia question. It was from a Clone Wars unreleased.
Astro is somebody you have to have on. This guy is a Star Wars fan, a good friend. He's American, but that's okay.
Astro,
we'll give him a one pass, just because Astro's awesome.
Fake fans would say that's Papa Smurf. He's in Star Wars now. Yeah, that's what they would say. Yeah. Cad Bane is a Kree. Very good, Wanda.
You know,
question number.
I forgot to bring up. I want to take exception to you correcting about the difference between cartoons and animation, because you're kind of the intergalactic colonizer that calls Tusken Raiders, calls them
sand people.
Yeah, that's not very nice,
bro.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore.
I don't know what they go by, because I've heard sand people being called by freaking Boba Fett himself. Didn't say sand people to Fennec? He said those words, and he's in the group, you know. So what the hell?
Tusken with the Tusken with a Tusken culture, and the culture resides in the sand, and people
of Tusk.
Yes. Yes. See, you do know about this. You know your history.
I choose not to be
But the Trinity,
inclusive.
you're forgetting. These sand people, it's not canon if they have souls or not. So, and people with no souls, they're not good people.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been confirmed in canon if they have souls. So these sand people, you know, they're soulless at the moment. They're evil.
24, Trinity. I'll wait for you to swallow your drink. But the question is, do John and Dave want to make connections to the Nyquil trilogy? You know who calls it the Nyquil trilogy, right?
No.
No,
it's the sleeper trilogy type.
The sleeper trilogy. Instead of sequel trilogy, Mark with a C, he calls it the Nyquil trilogy, and I love that. So I'm using that today. The gospel according to Mark with the C. That's his whole YouTube channel. Yeah. So I don't think that John and Dave want to make connections to the Nyquil trilogy. You?
I mean, the thing is like whether they want to or not, it's there. They're never going to do that thing that everybody wants to completely ignore it and retcon it and stuff like that. They're just not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to do their best to put as little of it in it as possible. Attempt to not connect to it as much as possible. Absolutely, yeah.
They might just build up to that battle of Jakku, and which is like 30 years before that trilogy, and be like, this is it, we're not touching nothing else. Because if they have to go there, if Filoni and them got to get there, because mind you, they're gonna have to speed up the timeline to get there. It's like, you know, touching that stuff and trying to fix that, like the only way to fix that is to retcon it. Because if you retcon it, you can reestablish Luke as like not this hermit who tries to kill his nephew in his sleep, or Han who just gets stabbed by his son and just gone and shows us a ghost later, or Leia who like flies through space with the Force and stuff. Like, you know, I think they just want to stay away, just do the Battle of Jakku, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they're connecting everything to all this Star Wars stuff. So unfortunately, yeah, they are gonna connect it to the sequel trilogy.
Well, if this is the case, do you guys think we're gonna see, like, real quick, do you think we're gonna see Sidious show up in any of this stuff? Because he's alive right now. Healing.
But do fans want to see that? No.
I don't want to see it. I didn't want to see him in episode 9, but hey.
We are.
There's going to be there has to be connections. Like, either if they don't want to do the connections or not, there's still going to be connections. There was in this latest episode of what happened in the Nyquil trilogy, or like kind of foresighting it. But I don't think they would want to. Didn't Filoni say that those were he hated those movies?
I don't think he's ever said that, but you're the second guy to mention that.
Yeah, he did. I believe Dave Filoni did say he didn't like the sequels at all.
I would love to see that interview, man. I know Sam Witwer spoke up about it. That's the guy who does the voice for freaking the Force Unleashed guy. He does the voice for Darth Maul, and he does the voice. He was in an episode of Mandalorian once.
Yeah, see, this is what I was saying. Like, I heard things that that they were trying to stay as far away from this as possible. Yeah, and you guys were like, well, where'd you hear this? I don't know where I heard it, but I heard they're trying to not like retcon it, but trying to just, you know, maybe tie it in so there's not a lot of references to it, or limited amounts of references to the.
It's always so hard to say because people talk about things with crappy sources sometimes.
Yeah, there's so much that is said around the internet.
You guys are movie people, man. You guys don't even deal with comic books. Holy shit! You guys only deal with like comic books and speculation and crap. Trying to put your money where on people thinking that people are going to show up and stuff. You guys have it good.
Hey, question number 25. Raise your hand if you care about the Yoda lightsaber retcon from the comics. Exactly.
There's
Yoda
lightsaber retcon?
Yeah. So apparently there's a comic book where the blue guy in the government who's like, oh, I've got Yoda's lightsaber because we just defeated him and we're going to throw it in the fire. And so Yoda's lightsaber is supposedly destroyed. However, in this latest episode, Luke had Yoda's lightsaber. So that means that there was a retcon.
Revenge of the Sith, he
But
had his lightsaber.
How long ago
There,
did that
there
happen?
was an actual comic where Yoda rebuilt his lightsaber as well. So that's another retcon going forward. That he made his lightsaber. So that would be the lightsaber that Luke will have. That Luke probably found in his travels trying to find everything Jedi related.
That's why we invite a wide variety of guests to shut me up, because that question is invalid. There was no problems. It works
How long
fine.
ago did that happen in the comics?
Oh, a while ago, wasn't it, neighbor?
Yeah, it was Dark Horse stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
When did they start being upset about it?
The Dark Horse is not a canon. Dark Horse is not a canon comic. You made it sound like that was a. It's not. The Marvel comic where that happened. That thing that I mentioned was a canon comic. Dark Horse doesn't count.
But what they've been doing is they've been taking stuff from non-canon comics and making it canon lately. So if you kind of think about it now, you're like, like what is canon in the comics? Like whatever they choose to make canon going forth. So it could be anything.
But see, this is the thing. They're taking pieces. They took Black Crescent, right? But just because they Black Crescent,
but he's also Marvel. But he's also Marvel comics. He wasn't Dark Horse. So Black Cave's strictly Marvel, new run Marvel.
Yeah, canon.
Yeah, so that I guess is canon. But I mean stuff like Kira from Solo is not. She was Dark Horse. So that's considered canon now. But it was also Shadows of the Empire in the comics, which is not considered canon.
What's that got to do with what me and K-Dot think? Like we recognize that things that are not canon, that was in the past in the Dark Horse era, is being used. Like even Thrawn, he's from freaking novels that were not canon, but they're using him. I get that. So until that they recognize that that's what Yoda did to create his own lightsaber, like I haven't seen that flashback or that recognition yet. But when they do, fine, that's valid. TM Nerdy, you're just kind of inserting that because it'll only make sense if.
Right. Until they make it canon, it's not canon, right? So they're taking pieces and stuff like that, which they're converting to canon, but until they make it canon, it's just not right at the moment.
It's like his best example here, real quick. I have an example for it.
And he's playing with himself.
No, I'm sitting here reading Aglax's comment.
Oh, should I read it? Let's see here. Everything you are seeing is in service of creating the sequels. To the sequels, a handful of angry dudes profess to hate, but can't stop discussing for years. Bro, shut up. Stop
I mean, wait. Just to say this real quick. Whether it's Star Wars, it's going to get talked about, the good and the bad. Can't just not talk about it. It's going to get talked about regardless because it's moved into the canon. Mm-hmm. It has to. Like if it wasn't canon, no, freak it. But it's canon. It's we've applied. I mean, it's
there's a reason why I don't do Star Wars Visions questions. Like when Neighbor to the North brought up that episode, I'm like, what's he talking about? Oh, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. But like, it's not canon, so I didn't really hear about it.
No.
Real quick, this example. This is the example I had. Like prime example. And I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but when Dragon Ball Z came out with Super, they dropped 2 movies: Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F. When the show came out, which is canon, they retold those stories. So those movies are no longer non-canon now. It was canon, but they're non-canon because they take the same story and retell it in a different way. So what the show told and what the movie told cannot be canon at the same time. But parts of that movie was taken and put into the show and made canonized. So
let me get back on these comments because I'm back. Do you think Luke is going to bring Grogu back to Mando and walk in on the Pike War? Yes. And Luke is going to be part of the good guys. Maybe even help them, or do you think that they will save that for season 3? No, that's happening now. Someone said
if they do that,
a second lightsaber in exile.
I wonder what he's going to say to a Boba. Boba's going to see him like, oh, it's him. Oh, watch him run away and cower in fear. Boba Fett, like it's him. Oh my gosh, he cut my gun.
Oh, Darth Bane is canon in the High Republic, eh? Interesting.
Yeah, he was mentioned in 2 comics ago, I think. There wasn't a panel or anything like that, but he was mentioned. His name was dropped in it. So
Darth Bane was also in Clone Wars, wasn't he? In the episode Yoda learns about Qui-Gon and how to talk.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, when he saw that vision and stuff, and he saw Darth Bane and all that.
This is the way people. Trinity.
I was gonna say, I think like when it comes down to it, what should be canon, like in the movie space of everything, is canon to the movies. The books are the books. The comics are the comics. Is there probably crossover and all that? Yeah, I think so. But like, I mean, we can obviously see like how they're kind of cherry picking everything from books and comics or whatever, and kind of putting it into all the shows and all the stuff that's supposedly canon and all that stuff. I think the best thing to do is maybe just think of it all as separate, but maybe still connected. Because I mean, like even like when it comes to like the Marvel stuff, it's not connected to the comics. Like they have comics that are specifically connected to it, but they're very few and far between.
The
And
616 is a universe. The MCU.
But they're bridging that gap though. Like they're coming closer. Like Marvel's, you can see like if you actively read Marvel comics, like they're trying to bridge that gap between what's in the movies and what's in the current comics. And
Well, I'd
they're trying
say
to do
they-
as best they can, right?
I'd say they do that more so with like the animated
best
stuff.
they
I don't
can.
think it's more so the animated stuff that gets affected because like when they came out with that Avengers Assemble show on Disney, if you guys know about it, the Avengers Assemble show, not the Earth Mightiest Heroes one, but the recent one. That whole team is really modeled after the MCU Avengers, like literally a model. Like you would think, like pretty much the same. So I'd say it's more so the animated stuff. Is even with the comics, like the way Cap gets Mjolnir in the movies is drastically different from how it does it in the comic.
Well, I mean, the same with like
both pick up Mjolnir, but drastically told in a totally different way.
like look at Infinity, like the Infinity War and everything like that. It's like in the comics, if you read Infinity Gauntlet, like everyone dies in like a brutal way. What was it like Wolverine gets like gets like ripped in half or whatnot. And, there's
Right, like they
can't do
but
that.
they're still missing a huge chunk of the story. Like Infinity War is still like loose canon. Loose.
Yeah.
Some parts
you just
close,
gotta accept
but
them. They're
still loose.
movies, right? Like it's not
exactly. And
they're movies.
I think that's
fun.
that's part of the reason why I say they should just kind of be like its own separate thing. I mean, unless they specifically say and do all that. But even that, like, what the thing is like all of it becomes so much to even keep track of for most people. And then of course you got the nerds out there who aren't who are really into all this stuff that kind of have all of that, but they're not the ones that are working at the studio and those kinds of things. I think ultimately that's why it should just kind of stay its own separate thing, like where they can just kind of have the loose connections and all that stuff. And I think that's kind of what they do already, and it works enough. It works enough.
But like even real quick,
Some
even
people
then,
don't like it,
like
I love how K-Dot always goes real quick because he knows I got the next.
Well,
question
it's
queued
real
up.
quick.
So
Like
he's aware of like what's going on here, so he goes real quick.
But one of the problems with like the comic book movies specifically, we have this problem is DC and Marvel. People keep using the comic books to fill in plots for the movies and stuff. Like it blows my mind. It's like they're not the same stories. They taking bits and they're not the same.
There's
Multiverse.
There's years and years and years of like how many publications you get? You get like if you're a bi-weekly, so you get 24 issues a year, right, of a certain comic book, and then with tie-ins.
It's just
and everything
Spider-Man.
like that, right?
Only Spider-Man and Batman are the bi-weekly ones.
Yeah.
So, well, even if you get a monthly, right? Like, there's a lot. That's a lot of books, man. You can't. And you're doing 3 movies a year, maybe 3, 4.
Well, it's just a thing that people use it to like. Let's say real quick, a Batman movie comes out. Batman does something, and someone says, "Well, in the comic, the reason Batman may do this because it's like no, in the movie, what he does in the comic and what he does in the movie is 2 different things. Like you can't use the comic to explain why he does this here, because that may not be the case. Because the director can come out and say, "Oh no, he just does this because he doesn't want to do it because of that." And you're like, "Oh, so that comic doesn't. That just my point is like destroyed because." That doesn't add up because the director says something different. That's what I'm talking about.
We should just be happy that we're getting comic book content.
Yeah, like I'm glad they're
right.
Stuff. I'm glad we're getting this stuff. I just watched Lego Batman the other day. I'm glad we get stuff like that.
If Disney
it's the
crossover
best.
with Marvel and Star Wars, I will move away from
Lego
the
Batman is
civilization.
tight.
I wouldn't mind a Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. It would be an else world, but I'll take it. You know, somewhat interesting. They do what
gotta
ifs.
do it, bro. They gotta do it.
Yeah,
They're in the
they gotta
multiverse
both.
now. Do it, because I think
you know who talked about this though? It was Heather Antos. She did an interview with Comic Pop and Benny from Comic Story, and she explained Galactus was gonna see a Death Star, and he's gonna be like wanting to eat it, and that would be the start of the story. It would be interesting like that. Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if you remember the manga, but Paul and Jess mentioned that in which movie was it? It was a Marvel project that came out, and they showed Vader's castle. Loki. It was Loki.
Oh, really?
Like Vader. Yeah.
Well, there's been a Star Wars Marvel crossover.
Yes, it was in Loki.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars characters have been in Marvel comics.
On Mustafa, they showed the Mustafa castle. Yeah.
Mustafar, idiot, Mustafa.
My bad.
Star-Lord's origin is in Guardians is damn near exactly Marvel Spotlight number 6. It's a great book. Hey, there we go. 20 number. Here we go. Do you prefer a Grogu puppet or do you prefer the Yoda puppet? Grogu puppet is superior. Grogu.
Yoda's ugly.
I'd have to go with the Grogu puppet. Yoda's puppet is very ugly back in like the original, and then the prequels he was just CGI.
Right. So he was a puppet in the Phantom Menace, but even then he didn't look cute. Like you don't even want to beat or anything. He looked hideous.
Yeah, like I don't know a lot of people that are out buying Yoda puppets as much as they're buying baby Grogu, baby Yoda puppets. So I'd have to say Grogu.
Grogu wins. 3 of us say Grogu. Neighbor,
will Grogu get that ugly at some point, or will he have that good skin? Will he, age beautifully?
Oh, he can't avoid it. That's what happens.
Well,
you
I think
will be.
When Grogu
if he becomes a Mando and he wears the helmet, then maybe that'll like preserve his skin, and maybe he'll stay that young forever.
That's a great ass answer.
The sun, all the radiation and stuff won't be messing with him. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's time to gatekeep the fandom. Yoda all the way.
Yeah, get him out of here.
You guys are fake fans. You guys are fake fans. Anybody who says Grogu is a fake fan.
The chat says Yoda. I mean, I'm kind of going with Yoda too. I mean, he's like I have a 17-year-old cat, and he's adorable. He looks haggard, and I love him, and it's kind of like Yoda, the Yoda puppet.
All right, think about it this way: would you if you had like a Yoda doll and a baby Yoda doll? Would you want to turn over and wake up to that baby Yoda, or would you want to look at that haggard Yoda looking doll?
I mean, the haggard Yoda doll will get me out of bed first.
What would you rather wake up? What would you rather sleep in bed with?
Oh dear!
Not the
ugly.
ugly.
What do we get? What kind of stream am I on?
Neighbor, you can't joke your way out of this one. You would scare me out of bed. So yes, it would be the ugly Yoda. You acknowledge
the Yoda.
That Yoda is ugly.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm
Totally
going with Grogu,
the Yoda.
man.
Totally the Yoda.
I'm going with Grogu.
Good.
Yeah.
Can anyone else have
now? My kids would say Grogu, and you know what? I'd tell them they're young, they're stupid, they don't know what they're talking about.
Your kids are smart. Okay, they are young. Yes.
Let me give a better example. Let me give a better example.
This is the jaded fanboy we needed, right?
Grogu is
this is our opposition,
right?
The jaded American.
Hey, Grogu is a cute, fluffy dog, right? And Yoda is a roach. Would you rather wake up next to a dog in your bed or a roach?
What kind of roach are we talking?
Right, exactly. Because some people
the big ones that fly. The big ones that fly.
Oh,
Yoda's the roach and Grogu is the cute, fluffy dog. Who would you rather wake up next to? I'd rather wake up to the next to the cute dog.
All right. Let's go to the live chat, see what everyone else is saying.
And to speak on what kind of roach, I'd rather wake up not to a roach, but a full one, if you guys know what I mean. Not just a little roach.
We know.
Facts.
No.
Ons looks quiet the whole time, and then he goes, "Facts is right, roaches, 420." God. Don't do drugs. The next question is, what Trinity?
Nah, that's totally different conversation. Wrong stream.
Right, because it's not drugs, bro.
Trinity, chain armor or the little Grogu cloak that he's been wearing this whole time? Even though we haven't seen him put on that the t-shirt of chain armor, would you prefer the chain or the cloak?
Chainmail all the way. Because I'm waiting for him to put that thing and don it and go out and start hunting down Sith while Mando sits there and clacks a couple of coconuts together behind him as he walks on his fake horse.
Monty Python style.
Isn't the chainmail like still pretty much kind of like exposed because the gaps was kind of big and stuff.
Big enough for a lightsaber to get through?
Well, I mean, just like let's say someone was a sniper and I think a bullet can like go through those little gaps in between the chainmail. It wasn't.
But do they have bullets in Star Wars?
Lasers.
Or was it designed to protect against Jedi?
Well, it'll definitely be able to.
Like, is he gonna take out Luke?
God.
Or am I just like?
No.
Yeah, maybe Luke should have got him in his sleep. Now look. That chainmail armor is for Grogu because the armorer constructed it that way. She understood, okay, you want it for him, don't you? Cool. He can't really wear a plate. He can't really wear anything that a normal human being can. Humans, you know what I mean? Human body can wear. It's got to be this format. That's the only possible way.
What's going to happen when he grows out? Like, can you bring it to like a consignment store?
Mando? You get a tiny little chest plate like Mando. It'll be tiny, but you can get one. He's gonna get a little jetpack too. Watch, he's gonna get a little tiny jetpack, little helmet, because he needs a helmet too.
Oh man, I sure hope so. Like somebody out there is making like fan art now of like baby Yoda in like Grogu in like a Mando type suit, and kind of make it like more like the Boba Fett, just like to honor Boba Fett because he's gonna die in the next episode. But yeah.
Okay, how fast do Grogu's species grow? I mean, so like we're talking Beskar, right? He invested a Beskar spear to make the chainmail armor. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like children, they grow to their clothes when they're newborns within like 6 months.
Because he's only bigger than that.
But with a t-shirt, it's easier to kind of have a t-shirt on, and guy can grow. And the t-shirt will just get a little smaller. But with a chest plate, there will reach a point where it's unwearable. I can gain weight, and my medium t-shirt can be like really tight on me eventually if I keep on gaining weight.
Look at Mando, or look at Boba.
Yeah, and she doesn't know. Look, the armor doesn't know a thing about the species. She's just like, yeah, probably good in the t-shirt thing because he will be growing and he can use it for the most amount of time. T-shirt is the answer. This is the way. This is what she said. She actually said this is the way. That's how she did it.
Oh, she's on to Mando.
I agree.
Bring him back. Now melt it down. Make it bigger.
Mike Porter,
also the way.
You spelled armor wrong. Oh,
no, we're Canadian.
Yeah.
I can't wait to buy Mithril Baby Yoda. I can.
Yeah, straight Beskar chainmail, wears it under the cloak. It's gonna be like.
Yeah, I see him.
Gonna be like the phone books in prison. That's his little phone book. He straps it around.
I like the cloak though, so I'd have to go with the cloak. But I don't think they're gonna get rid of the cloak. I really think they're gonna put that chain, like the chain armor, over the cloak. Be the only way to make sense, especially since they're operating a puppet.
It's gonna be under, man, and then he's gonna get shot, or something's gonna happen to him, and the chainmail is gonna save him in the last episode.
I want him to get Mandalorian armor, guys. Don't give him he needs Mandalorian armor. If they don't give him Mandalorian armor, bro, I'm gonna be so mad. You gotta get a helmet too. All that and a jetpack, everything. The grappling hook, every freaking thing. If he doesn't get it, I don't want it.
Gotta watch out for those slug thrower ballistic weapons. Question 28, is Luke Soka a thing? I saw you tweeting about this, K-Dot. I joked hashtag Luke Soka. I didn't mean it though. No. Travis, no.
No, it's just like it's almost like her nephew in a way.
Yeah.
Look,
she's a friend of the family, right? Anzo? We'll get to you, K-Dot. Just want to show you how I'm on the fringe you are. Anzo, the answer is no, Luke Soka is not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. Not at all.
Thank you.
No.
Trinity, Luke Soka is not a thing, right?
Nah.
Neighbor to the
People will make it a thing, but no, it's not a thing.
Neighbor to the North
I made it a
comics.
thing. It's my fan fiction.
Do you really want to hear my opinion on this?
Oh my God, what's your opinion on this?
Come on, neighbor. You know what's up? Come on.
Hell yeah. I mean, they're locked. They're on a planet. You know.
Last
I mean,
two Jedi.
Getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
K-Dot knows what's up.
I'll tell you what. Go on in a second.
I'm just gonna let you have the platform, man. You go. I know we're thinking the same thing.
So me, this is when I saw Ahsoka pull up, and she's just there smiling and stuff with her beautiful lips, looking at Luke, and I'm like, friend of the family. That's what they all say. Friend of the family. That's what they all say. They're both young, in love. It makes sense. Luke Ahsoka is real, guys. Accept it.
Wait, what is this? The Will Smith and Jada Pinkett family? Like, what are we talking about here?
Look, this is why I say this. They're both on this planet, just robots here. Things happen. Ahsoka got some beautiful lips. She was smiling at Luke a lot, smiling.
Wasn't those types of smiles? It was like, oh man.
And then R2 starts playing the serenading music for them. And
hey Travis, weren't they both in? They were both in Clerks too.
And I'll say this: George Lucas never liked Mara Jade.
They
So
were.
maybe there is a thing with him and Ahsoka. Maybe.
Stop.
Wait,
Cole says Luke Soka is a thing, but I don't want to visit those types of websites.
Luke Soka is not gross.
those websites.
It's gross if they was. Luke Soka is not gross. What's gross is Luke kissing Leia. That's gross. That was gross. Luke Soka.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. That's the thing. He didn't know. We didn't know either until the end of the movie.
That's a good defense. Right? Doesn't make it any less gross.
I mean, it's still gross, but like in Luke's defense, he didn't know.
Well, it's not gross if you're into that type of thing, right?
Yeah, it is the galaxy, far, far away. They do things.
You guys are out of this world. The
It's
question
a little backwoods there too.
Between the two, he's got a choice between Ahsoka Tano. He's got a choice between Luke Skywalker. Does R2 decide to choose? Does he want to roll with Ahsoka or Luke? I'm gonna say he wants to roll with Luke Skywalker because he was more of like Anakin's, droid in the Clone War era. Ahsoka was there, and that's all cool. But Luke Skywalker is the guy that he wouldn't abandon Luke to join Ahsoka, basically.
Right. And the one thing Anakin and Luke do share, they like to build stuff. They're both pilots, really good pilots. R2 probably liked all that stuff, so he sees the same qualities. But wait, because didn't R2 forgot all those memories and stuff? Like those
in
memories
the ending of Revenge of the Sith, Bail Organa goes, have the protocol droid's memory wiped, but not R2, because R2's
not
an
R2
astromech droid. So because of that,
so wait a minute, this bastard R2 was here the whole time going like, I know everything, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
All of that. That's why Mike is so mad, because he had jetpacks in the prequel era, and you're like, well, where was the jetpacks during the original trilogy?
And our previous question, R2's an asshole.
R2 was really dude. R2 was
He's a
like,
dickhead.
guys, do everything yourselves. Like, you guys need to learn how to be independent. F you guys. I'm just here chilling. I'm trying to be a star. I'm trying to be the star. I don't need to do anything. At most, he just gave Luke a lightsaber. Like, here you go. You do the rest. Take care of it. But I know your dad is Darth Vader, bro, but I'm not going to tell you. R2's a bastard, man. Dude. R2's an asshole.
He had the Death Star plans. He had everything.
No.
No.
R2 is the man. R2
He is the man,
is the whole
but,
reason
dang,
all
bro.
this stuff is going on.
He's the droid.
He's the real hero.
Darth
He's the real hero.
R2?
Facts.
R2's crooked, man.
All right, so Trinity, would R2 want to roll with Ahsoka, or would he want to roll with Luke?
You know what? If he was given that choice, he'd go full Korath and be like, "Who? You don't know who Ahsoka is." No, he's going Luke all the way.
Luke chose him in Tatooine. Don't forget the beginning of New Hope. It was like, what about that droid over there? So he knows he owns him. He is property of freaking Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right, Anzo? Who would R2
chat's
want to
getting
roll with?
pretty hard
Yes,
here.
he would want to roll with Luke. Absolutely.
The
R2
chat
has
says
a
Luke.
connection with Luke.
R2 rolling with Ahsoka because she doesn't want to drink green milk.
I mean, if I was R2, I would follow Ahsoka in any battle, bro. Any battle.
I think I don't know if he'd have a choice, but I kind of have a feeling like R2 is going to go with Ahsoka. Because there was a time where R2 wasn't with Luke in like the Nyquil trilogies. So that might be why he wasn't with him. Maybe he went off with Ahsoka.
Yeah, because like because he was so mad, like, Luke, you lost it, man. You're whack now. I'm young. I'm a robot. I need to be with people that are like me. I'm an asshole, but you're an even bigger asshole. That's what R2 said.
But he created the ants, didn't he? Like those look like they're like being controlled by R2 at that point.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, actually, R2 turned off. So why didn't the ants turn off?
Maybe he just uploaded his consciousness to that. I don't know how droids work.
Maybe he didn't turn himself off. Maybe he pretended to be asleep and he was actually awake the whole time.
Yeah,
he's mischievous.
Yeah, didn't want to answer Mando's question, you know?
He just sat there, closed his eyes, peeked a little bit. Is he still here?
Yo, is Ahsoka just watching Luke so he doesn't turn dark? Yeah. Will I ever see you again? Perhaps. The answer is
she's about to leave again. I don't think she's going to be meeting up with him like that. I doubt she's going to have any part in the school, too. I doubt it.
No, she has her own. She has her own mission. Like we've seen that in like the Mandalorian, who she's searching for, and that'll be the big point in like the Ahsoka series. But I think Luke is going to be in it at some point or another. Like they're all connected. Like that's what I like about these now, that they're so connected in this world, and there is a potential of crossovers between these amazing characters.
Yeah, and saving Star Wars, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I feel like
fucking Star Wars.
Ahsoka won't have nothing to do with the school, because if she does, then a lot of the stuff that potentially happens in the sequel trilogy wouldn't happen, because Ahsoka would definitely do her best to not make sure Luke trains these kids in a bad way or do what he did to Kylo. Like, he would have been like, yeah, we're not repeating Anakin.
Very true.
Yeah, which furthers the question, like,
I think
does
they'll
Ahsoka die in the future? Like, because
he might die. I think the best thing to do, probably kill her off before the sequel trilogy to make it all make sense. In my opinion, I think she should have died in Order 66. But hey,
you're the worst.
He likes DC.
I like DC too, but I don't want to. I like Ahsoka. Ahsoka's been great. But yeah, she is probably going to die before that. But to die in Order 66, nah. Then we wouldn't have an Ahsoka series coming.
It can be your Force Ghost.
Ooh. Because we need more Rosaria Dawson, man. We need more Rosaria Dawson.
Yeah, I'll agree with that for sure. Definitely.
You think that R2 can create deep fake videos? Probably.
Yep.
Luke's lucky to have him. Yeah, it's a Luke thing. R2 to Luke.
Yeah.
I'm not the droid you're looking for.
Mike Porter, right answer.
Question number 30 is, was it scheduled? And we're talking about this.
Mayor Marchese is on their payroll and has flown off-world, which leads us to believe the storm is about to break.
It was a scheduled vacation, actually.
No.
It was a scheduled vacation.
Absolutely not.
No, he knew it was coming, and it's scheduled. Like, oh, I'll just put it in the schedule now that I was supposed to go on this vacation.
Right.
Yeah. So it was scheduled, but it was still
hastily.
BS. Yeah. Hastily scheduled. That's right. That sounds like someone who's like going to court and they're gonna, for legal purposes, we're gonna word it this way. Yeah, sure, you scheduled it, but it does not mean that you planned this thing in prior. It's something that you put on the schedule because you wanted to avoid any, looking bad. So yeah, that's the way I'm gonna answer it. Nerdy, you're with me. Trinity, you're with me. Neighbor to the north, are you with us?
Yeah, it's like the guy who totally screws up his clothes at work and is like, yeah, I'm calling in sick tomorrow or whatever, like he's just
something
walks
like that.
Yeah, he's like washing his hands of it. It's not.
Yeah.
Bro,
Right, K-Dot?
Yeah, dude, he's gonna come back like, oh my gosh, all these people are dead. What happened? Oh my gosh, I'm here to rebuild. He knows it all. He knows it all.
Onzo, was it scheduled?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He bounced because he knew what was coming, you know. And I think because he's with the Pykes, he's using them as protection. So it wasn't scheduled.
And when everything is burning, he's gonna come back and say, I am your hero. I will save this city because I'm the mayor.
And then Fennec will shoot him in the head.
Question 31.
I should hope it's Boba Fett that does it.
You're kind of touching on what this question is touching on. Why was Fennec explaining Boba Fett's plan? What was that all about?
Because Boba Fett does nothing. He's lazy.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I did have it. Was kind of wondering that too, because like he only had like a couple of words in this episode at all, and like a nod to like the Mandalorian, but Fennec was the one explaining everything, and maybe that's just because he is her right hand, and
He's the general.
Yeah, isn't that someone's doing my work for me? Isn't that a level of that's how Boba Fett is this superior? Let Fennec talk.
I mean, yeah, she is his like right hand, but it's like you're going to be leading the assault. Because he's going to be fighting. If he's not going to be fighting on the ground, okay, then it kind of makes sense. But he's going to be down there fighting too. Like he should be.
It dictates like what he said earlier. He wanted to like be a different leader than the Hutts were, in that like he wanted to be on the ground floor and stuff and do things differently. So getting Fennec to talk for him is kind of like reverting in a way, just saying
Exactly.
like, oh, I guess I'm going to be like the Hutts and get these people to do my dirty work for me. So it kind of just doesn't make sense.
Man. This is like politics currently. Like, you know, you have somebody who's your PR person, right? Fennec Shand is the PR person for Boba Fett. Boba Fett just kind of like oversees and signs the check.
I mean, hey, I'd rather Fennec talk anyway because she's a better character than Boba Fett right now. So
absolutely, man,
I'll take more Fennec over Boba Fett.
Ming-Na Wen is like, she's legendary. I mean, you got Chung-Li, Mulan, an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Fennec Shand.
He's the president. She's the general. I mean, you know, it's...
Yeah.
But I mean, if this show is really going for like a Godfather type of feel, then it kind of makes sense that the general, like Fennec, is always doing the stuff, and you know, Boba Fett's just in the background telling her what to do.
Right.
But that's if he's going to be in the background, though. But he's not, because he goes out and does stuff.
Chain of command.
Question 32. Did Ahsoka know Luke Skywalker before she sent Din to the stone? K-Dot.
No.
You touched on this one here. No. She had to have met him after that episode and before this episode.
No, if she met him before, then she wouldn't say go to the stone. She would have said, I know a guy who's trying to get a school together and do all this stuff, Luke.
But
and Luke is 5 years in between Mando and Return Jedi. Mm-hmm. If she met him anytime before there, they probably had long talks, long discussions, and Luke probably heard like, yo, let's restart this Jedi Order up. She wouldn't tell him to go to stone, like go to Luke. He's trying to start up a school and stuff.
But didn't she say in this episode, like when she was talking with the Mandalorian, that it was his wish to train him, so she didn't want to like interfere in his wishes and that come between them, because Luke said he wanted to train Grogu, and that's why
she didn't want to.
That's why she didn't say that in the Mandalorian, that she wouldn't train him.
No. But she said that, but she told him to go to the stone to find a Jedi. She didn't really know. She didn't really meet Luke yet, or know of any other Jedis. I mean, she knew of Luke because he defeated Vader and stuff, and he was part of the Republic. But like, she didn't know him at the time, because if she knew him, she would have said, "Go meet Luke Skywalker."
Maybe she respects his privacy. Maybe she's all about choice. Hey, go to the stone. If Luke chooses to, find you, Luke will do that. But I'm not about to out Luke Skywalker to you, because Luke Skywalker is like priority number one for all of the imperial, bad guys, basically. So she was protecting Luke Skywalker. We could even say that she did know him at the time. She just said, go to the Seeing Stone and find a Jedi, knowing Luke is going to answer that call, or knowing if he doesn't answer that call, then I would not have just given up Luke, because she understands the beef between Mandalorians and Jedi firsthand. She's seen it. She gets it. So she's protecting Luke Skywalker that way. Boom.
I would agree with that too as well, because maybe she never met him personally, like K-Dot said, but she would definitely have to know of Luke Skywalker by this point, right?
By the time this episode happens of Book of Boba Fett, they're talking to each other like they know each other.
Right.
It's not like
Okay. Yeah, and that's why I say they met recently after The Mandalorian.
That would be the perfect
that
seamless
makes more sense. Because if they met prior, it doesn't make any sense that she would say, go to the witch, go to the stone, because then it's like, I understand it's Jedi stuff. They want to put people on these paths and stuff, but it's like Grogu's on the run from the Sith, from the Empire. Yeah, I think you would want to get him to Luke faster by not going on his journey. Because guess what happened? He got captured. And what if something happened and Grogu died? Then that's on Ahsoka for putting them on that little dumb goose chase of going to the stone. And she'll be.
But then the Force didn't will it though. In that case, it wasn't the way of the Force.
This is why I want to be a Sith, man. These freaking Jedi. I want to be a Sith, bro. These Jedis and stuff.
These Americans choosing the wrong team. Did everyone touch this one? Are we down to go to the next question?
Hold on. Not only that, right? It also could be a writing thing, because they're trying to keep Luke a secret, right? So if you're saying, yeah, hey, go see Master Luke, then everybody knows Master Luke is in the final episode.
Yeah, realistically, it's a writing thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Had to keep that thing a secret. That was
but
32.
How long can you keep it a secret that there's a Jedi school and there's eventually going to be like Jedi's trying to be the police of the galaxy again?
Okay.
If one of them passes and goes out,
It wasn't a secret that Jedis were there. It was a secret who the Jedi was, right? Because you don't want to blow that right away, right? You wanted people to be surprised at the last episode that it was Luke, and they also hid Luke very well, so like no spoilers or anything like that. So I can understand why she would have said just go to the rock instead of saying
like writing wise, I understand why they did it, but they could have wrote it better if that's the case.
I feel you. I'm not wrong with that.
I'm not saying you're wrong about why they did it, but writing wise, it doesn't happen.
You're watching 33 burning questions. This is Chillmonger. That's TM Nerdy. That's Onzo of Bigford Entertainment. He's doing the station thing. Yes, TM Nerdy. Yes, station. Yes. Second Street Marvel, Neighbor to the North Comics, SSJK. Sanctum. Mike is in here from Rogue Comics, but he's like dealing with a customer, so he's not in here. But I'll shout him out. We're on the last question. Okay, the final question of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Prediction for the next week's episode. I'm gonna say that there's going to be a war on Tatooine. Luke is showing up with Grogu. Grogu will say his first words, and there will be a crate dragon. They have to top that last week's episode, which was like the greatest Star Wars thing I've ever experienced. And we're getting dragons.
So here's my prediction. And there's a rumor. I believe Han and Ben are going to be in it. Kylo Ren are going to be in it. I think we're going to get Boba riding the Rancor. I think that's going to be probably the moment that's supposed to be this magical moment, which I'm not really excited for.
Ben Solo's going to pop up. No emotions. Hi, everybody. I'm Ben.
He's 5 years old.
Yeah, he's going to pop up emotions like, what's up, everybody? I'm depressed. Hello.
Without his shirt on?
Yeah, with his pepperoni nipples.
Wow.
They're not pepperoni yet.
I do agree that Grogu's going to speak, because like at the end he was just about to say what he wanted to do, and I think that's gonna happen. Like he's gonna speak and say like, what does he want, the chain mail or the lightsaber? And I feel like he's gonna say Mando. or like Mandalorian,
Me too.
or even his real name, because he does know it, and it's going to be really hard to top this next. Like, it's kind of got me a little bit worried of like where this episode's going to go, because they have a lot to talk about and like wrap up in this one episode.
It's supposed to be an hour long though. This is an hour long, or close to. It's like 52 minutes or something like that. So
good.
So they might be able to, but like the last episode was like 46 minutes, so that's only an extra couple. Like what? Yeah, it's not very much extra on top of that. So you're gonna have to a lot to touch on in this next episode, and then bringing in like all of these other characters like Ben and Kylo Ren and that. I'm pretty sure you're bullshitting me, but I don't think they will.
Oh no, that is a rumor that I heard that he's coming in. Ben and Han Solo is going to be in the last episode.
Oh man, that would be too much pack since we just got Cad Bane and we're not going to get him for that length of an episode. We still got Freetown that needs to like make a decision if they're going to be inside the war or not.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to touch on, and then with the bar just exploding, and that they're going to. Portions of them are going to be attacking.
But if they bring in Han and Ben, it could be just like a final scene where like Luke is at the temple and Han brings Ben and says, "Train my son as a Jedi." They could just do something easy like that. Which is what I believe they're going to. Well, the person I heard it from has been right about most of the Star Wars stuff he brought up so far. So
spoiler,
and also nostalgia. They're banking on that nostalgia.
That just goes back to the point where it's like, do they want to touch on like the NyQuil series or not? But I guess they kind of have to.
If they show young Kylo, they're going for it to try and clean that stuff up. If they show young Kylo.
Trinity.
So what was the question?
Well, the question
I don't know
predictions.
I don't know what predictions. I think they're obviously going to get everything. They've obviously set up to go into a battle. I think we're probably going to get a battle, and then it's going to end on a big cliffhanger that's going to leave you going into Mando season 3.
Is Mando season 3 happening before Ahsoka's new series? It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mando season 3.
Isn't Obi-Wan the next one though?
This is when Obi-Wan steps in and says, "Hello there."
I just don't include it because it's a different time.
Yeah,
that's
because
the Order
like
66, man.
Because they're going back to like right in between, like right after episode 3, the Revenge of the Sith. They're going between that and episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a different timeline. Yeah.
I mean, Deborah Chow is in charge, and she's on the staff of like Filoni. She's part of the umbrella of that. Or the tree, I should say. She's a branch on the tree. Whatever makes more sense. She's Team Filoni. Yeah.
It may be a different timeline, but they could still tie in some stuff, show some stuff that happened before. I'm not sure what they're actually going to do with the series. It seems interesting, but we'll see. But I think it's
everything's got to lead into Obi-Wan some way.
There is
that's chronologically the next. I mean, as far as like the. Well, not chronologically in Star Wars, but
you're talking about in the lore, like viewing. What happens, right? Yeah.
Well, like viewing timeline, right? It's the next series, right? We always get a lead into whatever's next on Disney Plus, right? So next is Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Y'all
so
aren't ready for what's next.
We have to have something like that. So I figure that we have Black Chrysanthemum in there. So would you not get a reference to Dr. Aphra at the end?
Yeah.
And maybe taking Black K and being like, hey, we got a job to do or whatever, and then it's like, who is this character, right? Yeah. But that'll be referenced in the Obi-Wan Kenobi, because that'll bring in the.
We know when they drop Obi-Wan, they're obviously just going to set up stuff for like future, like majority of shows going to take place in the past, but like they're just going to introduce some random character that's going to somehow show up now in the Mando era of things. I don't know who the character's going to be, but they're going to show somebody from the comics that's going to be part of this now.
It has to relate to the Obi-Wan series, because it wouldn't make sense for them to do something That's because they have Obi-Wan and Andor before Mando season 3.
But those are both prequels.
Obi-Wan's going to set up something. I guarantee you, Obi-Wan's
What they're gonna do with it is they're gonna set up that Rey is actually a Kenobi.
Then that means they're going to be retconning some. If they do that,
no, they
might
could
be doing that thing that people are talking about where they do like this timeline thing. I hope they don't, but the time travel stuff.
Look, the episode's going to end with a baby Yoda heel turn. He's going to be attached to that chainmail. He's going to take the chainmail, and he's also going to take the lightsaber.
There it is.
And he's going to be Darth Grogu.
True. That's impossible.
It's right there. I got it right there. There's physical.
Look at his little cute force lightning. Like, come on, who wouldn't want to see that? Tickle, tickle.
Dude, he's on top of like.
And then I want to hear all the Star Wars fanboys start crying about it.
Dude, he's on top like Mendo. I'm no longer your son. I am an agent of the
That's why. That's what happens when you don't feed me frogs. See, keep my frogs away from me next time. Watch what happens.
The girl who's the lead of the Vespa gang is Ben Kenobi's kid.
That'd be different.
Yeah. They would need the world between worlds for that to happen, for sure. I've heard the Ahsoka world between worlds theory about if she does pull, or if Ezra pulls Ahsoka out from the fight with Vader, then yeah, we get a whole new thing. And that's what we're watching on The Mandalorian. That's what we're watching on Book of Boba Fett. But if he doesn't, then Ahsoka does die by Vader, then that will lead into the sequel Nyquil trilogy era.
Wait. So with the time travel, so people say Ahsoka's dead in one of these timelines?
Yeah, Ahsoka is dead in the shitty Disney movies that Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams made. But in The Mandalorian, because Ezra pulled her out, this is a timeline that has nothing to do with the sequel era. It's just a theory, and I don't believe the theory is true because I don't know, it'll take a lot for Star Wars to retcon.
They were building that thing, the little temple thingy there with the droids in the last episode. So
yeah, I don't believe that theory at all. That's what Paul wants to happen, and I personally I never liked that world between worlds in Star Wars, anyways. So I don't want.
It's just it's just a cop out. It's like Star Wars doesn't need time travel. Like stop.
So wait,
every time time travel gets introduced to stuff.
When you guys were saying it was going to cross, how could it cross over with Obi-Wan if Obi-Wan takes place before these shows? Like, what are they?
I'm not saying crossover, but you can they can show stuff that happened in the past, right?
Yeah, kind of like what they did in Boba Fett, showing him in that
the past,
yeah, showing what happened to him and stuff. So he could be easily like him telling a story to somebody too.
So you're predicting a post-credit scene like this?
Like his Force Ghost shows up.
So after how
that's
well
what leads
received
to
the flashbacks were in this series, you think they're going to double down and keep doing them?
Yeah.
They kind of they're kind of doing it going forth so far now. Like the Bad Batch is going to get another season, isn't it? We got Ahsoka coming. We could probably got a Dr. Aphra series coming in the future.
Yeah, like they're staying in the past.
You reckon Dr. Aphra will get a series though? A Dr. Aphra series? I don't think that's profitable.
No, but it has to connect in some way, right? Like it has to.
Yeah, because you got the blacks. Keep forgetting his name.
You saw the droids. You totally saw the droids in episode 3. Like they were there in that chase.
Right.
Episode 3 or episode 4. They were in that chase scene. You saw like the dark protocol droid and the astromech droid. The murder droids were there. Black K's there. I mean, it's I'm not just saying it as a fanboy, but like it has to happen.
I don't know much about Dr. Aphra.
So Neighbor to the North ain't too off, and we're getting an Andor series. What's the Andor series? So
yeah,
you said you were excited about it, so stop it.
You said you were excited about it, Mike.
Can I ask a question of the panel
first? Star Wars
right after TM Nerdy.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of Dr. Aphra, but I've heard so many fans of Dr. Aphra like wanting this. I know Brandon Comics Kings has been begging for it. He's been all up on Star Wars lore and that, and he's like fan of Star Wars, everything Star Wars.
Brandon
and there's a few others.
King, but you're talking about people who have spec'd, who have got the first appearance of Dr. Aphra and want it to be worth a lot of money in the future. That's a bias.
No, it's current comics, man. It's like the current comic run.
Yeah, he's reading the current comics and he's loving Dr. Aphra, and he stated that he wants the girl who played Sky off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Chloe Bennett to play Dr. Aphra.
That's what I've heard. Has been like rumor casting or whatever, but
it worked for Rosario Dawson. We can't dismiss it. What was your question for the panel?
I was gonna say, man, like, are we gonna see more of Danny Trejo? Like, are we gonna see Machete riding into battle? Are we
If
gonna
he's
see
not
him,
riding in on
like,
that Rancor, bro.
No, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be.
Is he gonna get killed in like at least like an honorable fashion? You know, maybe like dying to save the Rancor.
No, he has to die of like some sort of thing that kind of looks like a machete.
Because this is our Machete in space, right? This is what we wanted. This is Machete in space.
Well, see, this thing we're forgetting. We know Danny Trejo always gets a short end of the stick. He always dies in horrible ways when he's like a supporting character in the movie or anything. He's kind of a supporting character. Something bad might happen to him. He might get stepped on by the Rancor. The Rancor might fall on him by accident.
So you guys seriously want Dr. Aphra? Seriously?
Are you kidding about Dr. Aphra not being profitable? Beautiful, smart ass who is an expert on Star Wars lore, going from planet to planet as an unethical Indiana Jones would make all of the money. I'm just saying, introducing her to a new character, to a new audience like me, it doesn't appeal to me. Even
it's Indiana
Ahsoka,
Jones in space, man.
It would be. It sounds like it could be good, right? It sounds like it, no doubt. But it's so hard to introduce somebody new, which I know Din Djarin Mandalorian is a new character. I get that. So yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong over here. Aphra holds her own comic series, and they know that. Plus another female character for them to use there. You got to checkbox. Yep, you got to think of them. Yep. Think of it the way they think of it, right, Trinity? It's all about those checkboxes.
Check.
I always wanted to see Danny Trejo play Lobo in a movie. That would be nice. And then King Sloan, I guess you read the comics and you say that her character is a thumbs down, in my opinion.
Do you realize how many hate videos would come after that? How many Star Wars is woke and future is female videos we're going to have to put up with? Are going to be in the timeline? Are going to be on the front page? Are going to be everywhere? Do you realize what that could do?
Mike, you got to add them to your banned words on Twitter.
But then I won't see the good videos.
I wouldn't have to worry about seeing them.
Oh yeah,
and putting up with them.
Because you don't go on to tweeters.
No, I'm not. No, that's another thing. I'm talking about YouTube.
I don't pay no attention.
Not Twitter, but YouTube.
Trinity, you got the life hack. Just pay that shit no attention.
It's like, bro, real quick, like,
just keep scrolling. that stuff don't even come across my feed anymore.
Because you stopped clicking on it, right?
Yeah, I just don't click on it.
Yeah, like just a couple minutes ago, I looked at the Lord of the Rings poster. It showed a black hands. I go to the comments.
I don't click on any of that shit. But there are people. In fact, there's people on this panel. There's a person on this panel who interacts with some of these trolls and trolls back and all that. And I see that. No, the one on the other side. No, not you, Chill. No, the other fool on the DC dots over there. There you go. He always and not only sometimes he does pull a nerd man where he like agrees with some of the things they say, but there's other times where he's like he calls them out for being straight fools. But I still see that interaction. So I guess the Twitter algorithm says, hey, he must like DC stuff because that's all that's on his feed. Because this fool over here has to interact with these morons, and I don't want to. I don't like banning something, like picking a word. You know, even like when I was doing the stuff with Spider-Man, so I didn't see I literally put every character I remembered from Spider-Man series. The Rose, I put in King. It didn't matter. I just wanted everything in there because I didn't want to know anything, and I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. Like if I don't click on something, like Trini said, if I don't click on something, then that means that I'm not interested. So stop suggesting it to me. I don't want to see it. But that's what they do. Like I continue to get Snyder shit, and I don't want to see that stuff, but it's still there. So I guess I could get rid of, at least put Snyder there, but I don't know. I shouldn't have to censor myself because your algorithm doesn't know exactly what I want to see.
You shouldn't have to, but you do it. You know, you do it for your own mental health. Like, there's a lot of things you shouldn't have to do, but you do. Like, you shouldn't have to lock your door, but you do it. That's not a great example. That's
in Canada, really? I thought you guys just leave the door open and stuff like that.
Yeah, they just invite.
That's a nice thing.
Their house.
That wasn't a diss, was it, Travis? I'm happy with that one. That was good. I don't gotta cut to
my
a clip.
house, man.
What's a Twitter?
Good answer. It's the place where I DM'd you the link to this.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. I emailed you, didn't I? That's right.
You did. I don't have a Twitter.
May the algorithm forever be in your favor. Bro, that took a detour, but that was 33 burning Star Wars questions. Everybody plug yourself in 15 seconds or less, starting with Nerdy.
Well, you can check me out at my channel, TM Nerdy. I do chatting with the comic community. Just had Brother Joe for episode 40. I also drop every Friday. I drop my top 5 indie comics that I'll be picking up on the following week. And then I just did a show last night over on Evil Mike's channel, Evil Comics channel, with Neighbor to the North, Tylex the Mighty, Raging Cajun Comics, and that's it. I think that was the crew of us, and yeah. Then you can just check out everybody from the PCP Army Bad Batch.
I love Pop Culture Philosophers, by the way. That guy, I've been watching him for years. Onzo Bigford Entertainment.
What's up, guys? Thank you, man, for having me. It's very fun to come on this stream. Bigford Entertainment, do the Chaos Show, Chaos List, Chaotic Conversation, Rule of Three. Got the OOC where we talk about real life stuff. Other than that, man, I was glad to be here. Probably glad to be here. Oh, and I did a ranking for the 80s and 90s cartoons. It was a real ranking, not that Nerd Man and Paul shit. That's all I'm saying.
Old man ranking.
That ranking was terrible. K-Dot.
I know, right?
Plug yourself,
K-Dot.
My bad. I muted you when I was trying to solo layout you.
Man, you're trying to give me a spotlight. You silenced me. Wow, I should just leave. You guys find me here at SJK Sanctum. I have a video coming for you guys today. My South Park season 25 episode 1 reaction and review. Be on lookout for that. That is coming today.
Rogue Comics, talk to these people.
My channel's name is Rogue Comics, but I haven't done the vanity thing yet. Although I did have a name, but apparently you can't change it once you select it or something like that. It's really weird. But anyways, I'm going to be doing a video tonight with all the comic books that are going to be coming out on Wednesday. And I usually just do like new releases and stuff like that. Unless there's something like Jeff Johns coming back or Flashpoint Beyond that piques my interest and I have enough enthusiasm about it or energy, then I'll do it. But usually it's just new releases or solicitations for books, for actual books, for the stuff that this stuff is based on.
You're right. And if you're in the Connecticut area, he's got a shop there.
Oh, I do have a store too, yeah. Yeah.
But if you go to Basis Cards and Collectibles, you can go check out the shop that Trinity visits. Talk to us about your channel, sir.
Well, I'm Trinity. I talk about indie comic books and crowdfunding comic books on my channel. I also talk about just some of the other crazy things that I see going on in the world sometimes. And I mean, yeah, I think that's really about it. Definitely do like the Trailer Park Live on Fridays. And, Wednesdays, new comic book day. Always a bunch of indie reviews.
Neighbor to the North comics?
Hey, yeah. I mean, like Travis said, we were on last night talking about our first installment of Let's Talk Kevin Smith. We did Clerks. So we're going to be bi-weekly. So not this Friday coming up, but the next Friday. We're going to be talking about Mallrats. It was nice actually to do 2 streams in a row with just not talking about actual comic books, even though I'm more of a comic book reader than a moviegoer or a show watcher, but I appreciate the same. And it's nice to, not talk to people who are super gatekeepy about, this didn't happen. This happened in, book 366 of this series or whatever. It's nice talking to, people who don't have to, bring that stuff in. But yeah, come check out TM. I'm not sure who channels it's going to be on in 2 weeks, but we'll be talking about Mallrats.
All right. Next week, I might just do another Star Wars burning questions in a row. It depends how sick Episode 7 is. Will it be the Episode 7 that we all wanted? But it concludes this stream.
You mean
Get
Palpatine's
the
gonna show up?
joke.
Hmm?
I
I said, you mean
get the
Palpatine's
joke.
going to show up?
I hope not. I really hope that Darth Sidious is not in the show. Who?
Hey,
who wants-
Marvin wins in here, in the
Marvin
chat.
Wynn. Hey, yo.
Yeah, man, for the second sight.
Wait, you think?
He did the Edge.
He's the writer of the
Yes.
Edge. Yeah.
He's the right of the edge.
No
You
way.
have a
Station,
comic
Marvin.
book creator in your chat.
Second comic book creator who's ever watched my channel. Federico Blee also watched. He's a color artist for Marvel. That's cool. Thanks for popping in. Did he follow one of yours' links? Did Neighbor to the North?
He's a spine tick guy.
Contributor.
So
Yeah, and I did drop Station Marvin. I
Bro, what
did
is
drop
Station?
it into Station's from Bill and Ted. It was an alien from Bogus Journey, but they just started saying Station, just thought he was just saying Station, which means to everybody in the pop culture philosopher world means be excellent to one another.
I knew it was something, and you're always doing it. I'm like, yeah, Station. But I don't know if I joined the cult because I started using it too, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
It's supposed to be to the side, like your hand's supposed to be to the side like that, not like this. So it's just like Station. I do have a Bill and Ted card. Oh, there we go.
Let's see.
So Station.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter which side. You can go left, you can go right.
Yeah, whatever your preference is.
I'm glad you know what, everyone? I'm going to end the stream that way. I can't actually because I have to click end broadcast. But everyone, show us your stations. Everyone. K-Dot, let me see that station. Put that station up, Neighbor to the North. Trinity, station it up. Station. There we go. Station all.